happened?
I tell you what, I had an opportunity to go to his race shop a couple weeks ago and look at the effort they're putting into these Nationwide cars. They're building these bodies that are just flat beautiful. The effort, the fit and finish, everything he's doing is just amazing for this Nationwide car. And you can tell that Kevin really wants to beat the Gibbs cars. He wants to beat Carl Edwards in the worst way. You know, and people ask me, why is he so fast now? And I tell them, you know what? Kevin's driving that car himself. It's like he's his own onboard computer. He's looking at all corners of this car. And folks, you know, this guy is really good. He's won the Nationwide Series many, many times. But this time it's its own baby. He's spending the money himself.
Yeah, he has. You're right, Rusty. And he spent a lot of time in those Richard Childress race cars, Nationwide cars, and he learned a lot. And Kevin's a great student of this game. He walks around that garage area, he studies these race cars, and he's building a tremendous product, just like Rusty said. And put that cat behind the wheel, tremendous talent, tremendous product, you're going to victory lane.
While we enjoy the excitement of racing here tonight, this is September 11th. A day for us to remember. The flag flying over the racetrack tonight is a flag that was flown over Ground Zero in New York. It was brought here to the track by the 9/11 Memorial Foundation. It's President Joseph Daniels presenting the flag to the track as part of a program that was begun actually by a driver in tonight's field. We'll have that story as part of our pre-race coverage when NASCAR Countdown continues from Richmond.
Best Western always gives you more.
Breakfast and fresh in-room coffee.
Free high-speed internet access.
Our free Best Western Rewards card.
Now you can get up to 4 times more. Just stay any 2, 3, or 4 nights between September 13th and November 22nd, and you can earn double, triple, or even quadruple points when you pay with your MasterCard card. AAA members can get even more. Use your points for free nights, airline rewards, gift cards, and more. Better values, Best Western. For details, visit bestwestern.com.
Running a team and my racing keeps me pretty busy. I need insurance, it's on my side. That's why the Earnhardt family's had nationwide insurance for more than 30 years. I get the coverage that I need at the right price for me. That's what you can get when you call 1-866-500-5555. I trust them. You can too. That's on your side. Get a quote today.
The Craftsman cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner.
Just show me the Carfax.
A Carfax report can help you choose a great used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
You'll never see me do donuts in front of 130,000 fans.
Or spray champagne on the crowd.
Or give out autographs before a race.
But that doesn't mean we can't be heroes at the track.
By taking part in the 2009
NASCAR Foundation Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross,
we'll make a difference in our community and across our nation.
Join us to participate at your favorite track on September 11th.
Come to the track as a fan
and leave as a hero.
It's time to feel the final 400 miles of the regular season and the last chance to make the chase.
Go, 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 you're clear.
Feel the pressure of being on the bubble and the panic of being knocked out. With 8 spots still up for grabs, it's time to feel just how volatile the standings really are. The battle for the chase concludes with the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond tomorrow, Eastern on ABC.
3 major aircraft today appear to have been involved in a coordinated attack.
You remember a lot about it, but you really remember where you were and what the people around you felt as much as anything.
A lot of people died, really, for no reason. It's just important to remember them and think about what they went through.
It has been shocking. I can't believe what we have seen.
U.S. officials are saying there was no warning, no indicators of any kind.
It's important to look back on 9/11. Because those firefighters and those police officers, they saved lives. And without those people, there's no telling how many lives we would have lost.
September 11th, the day to remember the terrible events of 8 years ago and those lost on that day in New York, Washington, D.C., And Pennsylvania, certainly the racetrack here in Richmond, cognizant of the fact that their race would be held on September 11th, and including that remembrance as part of tonight's pre-race ceremony. Benny Gordon, a driver from the area in Pennsylvania where one of those hijacked jetliners went down, decided to use his race car to publicize the National September 11th Memorial and Museum in New York. Gordon will start 30th tonight, but the spirit of remembrance his idea and race car have brought to this night has certainly been a wonderful thing. NASCAR, its teams, tracks, and sponsors held a blood drive to honor the heroes of 9/11 at locations all across the country, including here at the track in Richmond. Race fans have generously donated blood. That's Greg Biffle visiting with some donors, the NASCAR Foundation and the American Red Cross joining to stage the event. Rusty, you're a member of the board of the NASCAR Foundation. What's behind the effort?
Alan, the NASCAR Foundation is helping bring awareness for blood donors that's needed really, really bad. In fact, on Thursday, had 100 people show up out here. All 100 that showed up got to get a pace car ride. You know, we've talked a lot about this, and since its inception of this, the blood donating program, we estimate there's been over 35,000 lives saved by this program that NASCAR Foundation has put forward. So it's a really cool deal. It really is.
And a great effort on the part of, again, the teams, tracks, drivers, and sponsors of NASCAR. We turn our attention back to tonight's race with a look at the NASCAR Nationwide Series standings with 9 races to go in the season. Kyle Busch leading Carl Edwards by 221 points. Brad Keselowski another 71 points back in third. Now, you'll recall that Edwards is still nursing a broken right foot, one he injured a week ago that left him kind of hopping around on crutches, especially getting out of his car after last weekend's Nationwide Series race. First race with the broken foot, and a little bit of ooh when he climbed from the car. But I'm guessing his foot's not the biggest discomfort he's feeling right now since he starts 39th tonight, Vince Welch.
That's exactly right. And first of all, it's, for the millionth time, we're going to talk about the foot. Everybody wants his crutches or wants to see the foot. How much difference is there in the foot a week later from when you injured it last week?
It's good. Dr. White, Dr. Della Rocca have been helping me a lot. And Midmo Orthotics, they put a... okay. This wild bird food from Scott's on another subject. It's supposed to attract twice as many birds as any other bird food. Right now it's attracting walruses. I've been getting a lot of trouble from Kenny and Mike. So, but my foot's good. It's the least of my concerns right now. The problem we had in qualifying was that spark plug, and they've got it fixed. They say this Scott's wild bird food Ford is going to be fine, so hopefully it is.
Obviously a big advantage to track position here. How about starting 39th? How difficult is it to get up through the field here at Richmond?
Yeah, it's difficult. This place is... it's really tough, and there's a lot of fast cars here. A lot of drivers, can really make the difference here. There's a lot of fast guys in the field. So for me, it's about Dan Stillman and I have a good pit strategy, trying to maybe ratchet up in the field early. We got to get up there and fight for wins. We can't give up any points.
This is the same car that Carl Edwards drove at ORP. He came from the back of the pack to win that race, Alan. We'll see if he can come from deep in the field to do it again tonight.
Okay, Vince, thanks. The Nationwide Series Championship is a big deal. It's important. The reality is Carl Edwards is also racing for the NASCAR Sprint Cup Championship, and with the lead Kyle Busch has in points, which is sizable, the question arose this week as to whether Carl Edwards should continue to run double duty or just say, congratulations, Kyle, that one's yours, and concentrate on the Cup car. Opinions?
My opinion is he's a racer. What you said made a lot of sense. I mean, the Sprint Cup Series is definitely the big deal for him. He's going for the points and that also. But he's second right now. He does have a shot to win this nationwide championship. And you know what? Those sponsors signed up to do that. And even though he got his right foot hurt and he's got to take care of the Cup stuff, I realized, I talked to Carl, and Carl told me, you know what, Rusty, my foot feels fine. I'm ready to go. You're not going to get this guy out of a car.
No, I spoke to Carl as well, and he was almost insulted when I asked him the question. He says, no, I'm driving this race car. I want to win this championship. But I do believe, just looking at the size of that boot on his foot, it is really cumbersome. And that has to be an obstacle. And I think it's tough for him to deal with. But should he get out of the race car? No, he continues to do what he does. But look at that thing, man.
Yeah, it's about a size. It's about one of your size shoes, it looks like. By the way, history tells us that no one has overcome a deficit this large without unusual circumstances. Largest lead ever overcome in the Nationwide Series at this point in the year. 358 points in 1986. Larry Pearson overcame Jack Ingram. But Jack got suspended for 2 races after an incident in an unrelated short track event. 9 races to go, biggest deficit overcome without an intervention like that. 84 points, Bobby Labonte did that in 1991, so Carl's fighting history as well as his foot injury. Another occasion being marked tonight, the 800th NASCAR National Series start for little brother, Kenny Wallace. Only the 17th driver to achieve that longevity. His record includes 3 wins here in Richmond.
Oh, man, he loves this racetrack. There is just no doubt about that. He won here in 94, 95, and 96. And Brad, he says if I could race anywhere, it'd be there.
Old Herm starts 27th tonight, Jamie.
And that certainly is a major milestone. And look at this. He's commemorating it right here. 800 NASCAR National Touring Series wins. Or starts, I should say. Where does that measure up on your list of achievements, Kenny?
Well, you know, Mark Martin started this a couple weeks ago, you know, back in Bristol in NASCAR. Everybody noticed his 1,000 starts. So everybody started saying, hey, let's gather up everybody's starts. And they said it ranks me 17th out of 3,821 drivers. And, you know, that's Mike Helton and Tracy Judd at NASCAR. So it's, I think what I'm most proud of is people have hired me to drive their race car for 20 years. And so, you know, we're pretty humble, or I'm humble. So it's pretty wild to think that I've started that many races.
Major milestone. His last win here at Richmond came 13 years ago. Shannon?
Last time Clint Boyer was in the 29 was Bristol, and I know you get in this race for a win, but it is a stout field. Do you race your own race, or do you race the competition when you have so many guys out there?
No, that's your own race. You got to go out there, and you got to beat them. That's part of the race. But Holiday and Chevrolet, we qualified good. We're sitting fourth, so you can see the front there. Just got a couple of them passing. Gibbs cars are going to be tough, but this is a fun racetrack, really racy racetrack, and hopefully we're going to learn a lot for tomorrow, and hopefully we'll be in victory lane.
Clint Boyer won here in May, looking for another win tonight. Dave?
And Martin Truex Jr. greeting folks down here like he hasn't been around forever. Welcome back. And well, it has been 4 years since you've been in the Nationwide Series. So why here, why now, and is the one car good enough to win?
I think it is, yeah. I mean, we had a great car in practice. I was a little worried about qualifying. We kind of struggled with the qualifying deal in practice, but we made some adjustments and it worked. And I think we can win. The car's really good. It's good to be back in the Nationwide Series, seeing some old friends, and we're gonna have some fun tonight.
Alan Champ is back.
Yeah, he is, and good to see him in a Nationwide car. Now, to win tonight, everything's got to be perfect, including pit stops, and there are some things that have to be done right before the race to help the crews make those stops perfect. For that, we go to the Craftsman Tech Garage and Tim Brewer. Tim?
Some of the most important parts on a race car are relatively small, but this time we're going to be talking about a small piece of chain. How do we use that? As far as a pit stop, we use a chain hooked to the left rear to actually bring the tires up at the same time, so the pit stops will be a lot quicker. But the chain, it's affixed to the rear end housing here, and it's adjustable up here through this ladder. We can actually raise the chain up and tighten in the force, making the tires come off the ground simultaneously. But still yet, if you tighten the chain too tight, when the car goes over in the corner and transfers weight to the right front from the left rear, if it's too tight, it'll literally pick this tire up off the ground, causing handling problems. So if you get too greedy right here, you're going to pay the price later in the race.
Hi, Mr. Brewer, thanks. You know, they used to have the Virginia State Fair on these grounds. The Midway's been hopping today.
Well, I'll tell you, they are having a big time. Looks like they got all the best ones out this weekend. Look at them. There's all of them.
Oh, nice shot. We're coming back in a minute.
Every 60 seconds, someone, somewhere, is making the switch to Tempur-Pedic. Now, it's your turn. Call now for your free information kit, including a Tempur material sample, along with a DVD and catalog. Traditional mattresses use metal springs that can cause pressure points, causing you to toss and turn. Only the Tempur-Pedic mattress automatically adjusts to your body while keeping your spine in perfect alignment. Plus, because Tempur-Pedic doesn't transfer motion, you won't disturb your partner when you get out of bed or shift positions. Best of all, Tempur-Pedic will let you sleep on one of their sleep systems for an incredible 90 nights before you make your purchase decision. If you want the ultimate in comfort, if you wish to get more sleep but can't, it's time you make the switch to Tempur-Pedic.
Call 1-800-770-8146 for your free information kit. That's 1-800-770-8146. Call today.
It's the 40th season of Monday Night Football.
Things are about to get a whole lot better.
Because Chucky's in the house.
T.O.'s in Buffalo, and the Bills are ready to rock against the Patriots.
Yeah, Jaws, but Brady's back, and the Pats will be on the attack.
Then Coach LT looks to fire up the Chargers against McFadden and the Raiders.
Buckle up, Jaws, for an AFC West bash in a black hole.
ESPN Monday Night Football, a special doubleheader. Bills Patriots at 7, Chargers Raiders at 10:15.
Welcome to your neighborhood Ace Hardware.
We are happy to combine your ideas with our expertise to find solutions that work for any project inside your home and out. We'll match the right tools with the right advice to make shopping at Ace a pleasure. Hurry in today for our specials on Ace brand products and save big.
Visit your local Ace hardware dealer, Williams Lumber and Home Centers, and nail it right the first time.
So stop by Ace, the helpful place.
It's important that my family is healthy, safe, and comfortable. That's why we use oil heat in our home. Oil heat is safe. With today's high-efficiency oil burners, oil heat is clean. Upgrading our existing oil heating system can cost less than converting to any other fuel source. I know what's important to my family. That's why we rely on safe, efficient oil heat.
When you improve the efficiency of your heating or air conditioning system, you may now receive tax credits under the new stimulus plan.
Contact your local Hudson Valley Oil Heat Council member to see how you can qualify.
Before we go green tonight, a reminder, tomorrow night it's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400. One last race to make the chase. 11 drivers for 8 spots. Mark Martin on the pole. Going to be a great night. We start with NASCAR Countdown at 7 Eastern Time, presented by Degree V12. It's the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Chevy Rock and Roll 400, presented by Pennzoil ABC, tomorrow night. How about that?
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's beautiful.
That
it is.
beautiful.
That's awesome, man.
I would love to know what that's like to skydive into a racetrack like that.
Yeah.
But I'm too chicken.
I'd love for you to tell me what it's like, too.
Yeah, exactly. All right, our J-Ski news and notes now. Big announcement this week. Richard Petty Motorsports and Yates Racing have signed a letter of intent to merge and become a 4-car Ford team for next year. Drivers Casey Kane, Elliott Sadler, A.J. Allmendinger, and Paul Menard. Roger Penske, Jack Roush, Robert Yates, and Rusty Wallace have been elected to the National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame.
Yes,
Congratulations, my friend. And Tony Stewart won the second straight Prelude to the Dream Wednesday, the race at Eldora Speedway benefiting for charities. Congratulations to him. We go back to the grid, Vince.
Kyle Busch, he is very good here. He has won 3 times at Richmond. What is it about this track and your driving style that mesh so well?
I'm not sure, but you know, really fortunate to have a good race team and a good race car tonight in Z-Line Designs, and really thank Jim and Monica for them coming on board with the competition that we have tonight between myself and Danny. We're looking forward to it. Racing for the kids over here and Operation Helmet over there should be a good night, and really, you know, it's you know, we're just looking forward to being able to bring both these cars home, and hopefully we can finish 1-2, and you know, the bragging rights will go to either one of us, I guess.
Winning in the daytime and now racing tonight, what transfers, do you know?
Well, I mean, everybody's under the same boat, so you know, we've been doing this for the past 3-4 years now, and you just work on your car the best you can in the morning session. You know, when you come out here in the morning, it's got a lot of grip. It's somewhat similar to what it would be at night, and the track just keeps tightening up and tightening up the more the rubber gets down. And right now here tonight, it should tighten up a little bit more again with the track temperature and with the more rubber that we'll be able to put down, and so should tend to lead to hopefully 2 wide racing.
The 18 and the 20 team on the front row should be quite a shootout, Alan.
And Vince, what Kyle Busch was referencing there, the sponsor Z-Line Designs, they've put up $20,000. Joe Gibbs Racing's put up another 10. Each of the 2 cars carrying a charity tonight. Whichever car finishes ahead of the other, the charity on that car gets $20,000. The other car, the other charity gets $10,000. So a little internal Gibbs competition tonight. What to watch for? First thing on this racetrack, a lot of side-by-side action, which can lead to some trouble in Turn 1.
Oh, Turn 1, that's a tough spot down there. There's just no doubt about that. Put your helmet on, Brad. Let's go, have a big wreck down here, buddy. 3 wide down into Turn 1. This is not what you want to do. It gets really tight and hairy. We're going to see problems there all night long. You can see it's pretty good racing through there right now, but I'll tell you what, you do not want to do it the wrong way. Watch this. They get down into Turn 1. 37 car gets the wrong end of this deal, and that is just tough race. Let's take another look at it. As you get down the front straightaway, 3 wide again. You get in that big funnel, see the 88 going around. Folks, we're going to see a lot of this tonight, and you don't want to get in a position there, guys.
Yeah, you know what happens, Rusty, is you come off Turn 4 down here, and you're trying to get underneath the guy, and you're drag racing him all the way down that front straightaway. And when you get to Turn 1, just like you said, somebody's got to lift. Because it funnels up, and when they don't, that's what we see.
Yep. And tires versus track position, another big story we'll follow throughout the night. We've seen these Richmond races force crew chiefs into some very tough calls. I think a lot of crew chiefs are expecting to have to make some tough calls in tonight's race as well. So what's the winning strategy going to be? Who'll spin and who will win? Always fun to find out at Richmond International Raceway. 250 laps of the NASCAR Nationwide Series is the plan. The opening ceremony is coming up next.
ESPN College Football Primetime, USC Ohio State, Saturday at 8 Eastern.
Pan pizza's great, but put a ring of cheese in the crust and jackpot.
Introducing Pizza Hut's new stuffed crust pan pizza. Your favorite pan pizza with a jackpot of melted cheese in the crust. A large one topping is just $10.99. Pizza Hut, America's favorite for pizza, pasta, and wings.
The Craftsman cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
If you're like most, your retirement dreams have seen better days. But with nearly 130 years of financial experience, the principal knows a few ways to help perk things up. With our helpful tools and resources, we can point you in the right direction and help put some life back in those big plans of yours. Why not start rebuilding your retirement dreams with the principal?
I joined the Army because I could see myself gaining by leaps and bounds over everyone else.
He knew he could come out of it with a career.
I told my kids, I want you to do better than I have.
I'm very proud that he became a decent man, loving father.
The Army made him stronger. Turn out well.
If your son or daughter wants to talk about joining the Army, listen, you made them strong. We'll make them Army strong. Find out more at goarmy.com.
Play on FullTiltPoker.net to win a trip to Las Vegas and a chance to appear on the new TV show, Face the Ace. It's your chance to play on national TV. Heads up against the best poker players in the world for a shot at $1 million. Free qualifying tournaments for Face the Ace are running now, only at FullTiltPoker.net.
This is what I learned in the NASCAR Nationwide Series. Speed is only half of racing. The other half is constantly figuring out what you're going to do next. And what's next is in 0.2 seconds. Now, I wouldn't call it rocket science. I just call it science while driving the rocket. I'm Steve Wallace, and I race in the NASCAR Nationwide Series.
ESPN's exclusive coverage of the NASCAR Nationwide Series coming to you from Richmond International Raceway, all lit up and ready for action, and a great field getting ready to give us a fun Friday night's worth of entertainment. This is September 11th. Those lost in the terrible events of that day 8 years ago. Remember this day at ceremonies in New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania, as well as in the opening ceremony here at the track in Richmond tonight. We go trackside now for that opening ceremony.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remove your hats as the 217th Military Police Detachment out of Fort Lee, Virginia present our nation's colors. Joining us this evening is retired Lieutenant Mickey Cross of the New York Fire Department's Engine Company number 16. On September 11th, 2001, Lieutenant Cross escaped the North Tower of the World Trade Center as it collapsed and spent many months helping the recovery effort at Ground Zero. Join Lieutenant Cross and members of the Henrico County Fire and Police Departments as they lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please continue to stand as Senior Pastor Joe Ellison of Essex Village Community Church offers tonight's invocation.
Let us pray. Eternal Father, we thank you tonight for Richmond, Virginia. We thank you for Richmond International Raceway. Lord, let us never forget our brothers and sisters, every policeman, every fireman, every citizen who lost their life in 9/11. Tonight, Lord, we ask you to dispatch your angels around every driver tonight. We ask you for your love and protection. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and in the Holy Ghost. Amen.
Now here to perform our national anthem, please welcome April Lee.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early what so proudly were hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And so what have become the big three of the Nationwide Series over the summer? Kyle Busch, Carl Edwards, Brad Keselowski, along with the other drivers, begin to get buckled in. The engines fire and the green flag waves next in Richmond.
NASCAR Nationwide Series at Richmond International Raceway is by Carfax. Kingsford Charcoal. For a chance to win the ultimate grilling experience of the big game, go to espn.com/Kingsford. And Nationwide Insurance, official auto insurance partner of NASCAR.
Show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner.
Just show me the Carfax.
A Carfax report can help rate used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
You know how football players huddle before every play? And what are they talking about in that huddle? Football. What are we talking about in this huddle? Football. It's like football exists to make us grill. This is no coincidence.
We're not huddling.
Oh, we're huddling.
Yeah, huddling. Don't.
To win driver pick'em, you got to be smart about who you choose.
Well, I'm faster than the wind.
I'm faster than lightning.
Well, I'm faster than a greased cheetah strapped to a bullet train.
That's weird, man.
Play Driver Pick'em, presented by Nationwide Insurance on ESPN.com for a weekly shot at $500.
It's time to feel the final battle for the chase and the pressure being knocked out. With 8 spots up for grabs, feel just how volatile the standings are. The Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond, tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ABC.
1, 2, 3, 98! Smooth on 3. 1, 2, 3. Smooth!
These teams and crews that have been working since early this morning in the garage here at Richmond now have to suit up and go to work on pit lane to try and help their driver as best they can in 250 laps of racing at the Richmond International Raceway. The crews are ready to go. The driver's getting ready to go. And ready to go, our boys in the booth. So let's send it upstairs to Marty Reed, Dale Jarrett, and Andy Petrie. Marty?
And I don't think we've ever had a right foot talked about more during one day than we had today. And I want to get these two guys' take on it because it's an interesting concept and an argument that's been going on all around this track. If you're Carl Edwards, Dale Jarrett, do you sacrifice the Nationwide Series because you've got so much at stake in Cup?
Oh, wow. That's the difficult question, certainly. And Carl Edwards is really the only one that can answer that. But from my perspective, yeah, I'd have to look at things a little bit differently, knowing that I'm not locked into the chase. Tomorrow night's really important. I would have to look at a relief driver for this race. Start the race, get someone in there. But Carl Edwards is the one that knows what makes him happy and what's best for him. And he's decided that driving this race car is the best thing for him.
And as a crew chief, if I'm Bob Osborne, his Cup crew chief, I'm going to be a little selfish here. I really don't want Carl running this race tonight. I don't want to sit here and watch this race and worry about whether he's going to hit the wall, bang his foot, and cause a real problem. I mean, you know, these cars are very safe, but with that fractured foot, if he hits the wall or bangs wheels with somebody really hard, that could put him out of contention for a possible championship, and that's very important to the Roush camp and as a whole, and to that 99 team in particular. So I would be very skeptical about letting him run that race.
All right, let's get our quick set keys to the race and show you exactly what's going to be the things that we're going to zero in on early in this go.
Okay, tire management. You got to take care of your tires on a short track like Richmond, and they'll pay dividends late in the runs. And taking care of your brakes is the exact same thing. This is one of the hardest races that we'll run on brakes. And driver, I need you to keep you cool right here, because tempers can get away from you at this racetrack.
Yeah, it's going to be hard to do sometimes. A lot of close racing here, but you do have to keep it cool.
All right, let's get in to pit lane with Dave Burns.
And Marty, what about when these cars hit pit road late in the race? If they hit pit road late in the race, that's going to be a big decision. And in the early part of this year in May, we didn't have double file restarts to consider. Crew chiefs are telling me that the double file restarts will make them decide to stay out or to put tires on when they come in. It's a big choice they're going to have to make. And as they usually say, it depends. It depends on where they're running. It depends on how good they're doing. One thing that you know for sure is these crew chiefs are going to have a lot of pressure on them to make this decision. Marty?
Well, pit road obviously is going to be a hot spot tonight, and we've got 4 of the best that are going to be patrolling as they get ready. You can see that the drivers are in the cars. In fact, everybody is clearing out of the hot pit lane, and it's time for us to get this show on the road. Let's go trackside for the command.
Race fans, it is time for those most famous words in motorsports. Here to give the command, please welcome your Grand Marshal, Chief Executive Officer of Virginia 529 College Savings, Mary Morris.
Hello, Richmond! Are you ready for the Virginia 529 College Savings 250? Gentlemen, start your engines!
Somebody went over there. Are you ready? Eventually she said, start your engine. You got room 3. Thanks, she went long. All right, bud, have fun. There, Travis, you got me okay with the engine running? That sounds good. 1-10-4.
Well, it's going to be an all Joe Gibbs front row, and our in-race reporter is going to be starting back in row number 9 in the 18th position. There he is in the Jimmy John's 33. We'll talk to Kevin Harvick when we come back and get this race rolling at Richmond.
There's a reason for the sunshine sky, and there's a reason why I'm feeling so high. Must be the season.
You get more power and more space. The world gets fewer smog-forming emissions. The 3rd generation Prius. It's harmony between man, nature, and machine.
The Craftsman cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Tell you what, that's a nice ride.
Yeah, she's a rocket. You still running tight in the middle?
Nah, she was pushing a little. I took about a half round out.
Not a full round?
Don't worry. My baby moves.
That's right, get in his head, Brianna.
Racing fans aren't like other fans. Get the inside track from Verizon Championship Racing on VCast with highlights, analysis, and exclusive interviews with the best drivers in racing. All on America's largest 3G network. Verizon Wireless.
It's Applebee's 2 for $20. The one deal in the neighborhood where you get real food. Featuring a half rack of our new double glazed baby back ribs with your choice of sauces. Get 1 full-size appetizer and 2 real entrees for just $20. It's 2 for $20, only at Applebee's.
In front of the pack, in the winner's circle, at the top of your game. You like being ahead. When it comes to transporting your prized cargo, Featherlight Innovations puts you ahead of the way ahead.
Welcome back to Richmond International Raceway, live from inside the Jimmy John's Chevrolet. We're getting ready to go racing here, so let's go up to the booth and Dale Jarrett and the guys see what's happening tonight.
All right, here you go. Now, hey, if you want any money for that, you're going to get it out of Andy's check. I'm going to tell you that right up front, Harvick. Hey, our first question comes from our mailbag, and Tommy from Irwin, Pennsylvania would like to know, what separates you from the pack to make you so dominant on short track, especially at Richmond?
Not by qualifying, I can tell you that much for sure, but this has just been a really good racetrack for us from the beginning, and just something that I grew up on the flat tracks on the West Coast, and for whatever reason that's carried over into my career on the Cup side and the Nationwide side here.
Hey, Kevin, speaking of those victories, you have 4 of them here in the Nationwide Series at Richmond. How special would it be for you here on 9/11 to win with your involvement with the veterans over the years?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. We have the VFW that we get to see a lot of the troops, and be racing on 9/11 just says a lot for our country, and couldn't be more supportive of our troops and everybody who lets us do what we want to do on the weekend.
Hey, man, thanks for talking with us. Have a great race. Now, Andy's going to talk to your crew chief, Ernie Cope.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Hey, Ernie Cope, Andy Petrie in the booth. You got us?
Hey, Andy.
Ernie, you guys put a whooping on them last week at Atlanta. My question to you is what did in that setup, what can you carry from that to apply to this car tonight?
Really nothing. That's the bad thing about it. And hopefully we can, I don't think we'll be as dominant, but I think we can have a good run by the time this race is over, though.
Well, you certainly have the right guy behind the wheel. Make good decisions on that pit box, and you'll have a shot. Good luck tonight, Ernie. Thanks a lot for talking to us.
Thank you.
Starting grid across the top of your screen, you'll notice the Joe Gibbs Racing duo right up front and then on back through the field. You're going to find Carl Edwards all the way back in the 39th position. They found out they had a spark plug situation during qualifying. They're going to go ahead and they made the changes. They'll be the one car that has been reported to the rear. Let's check in with the rest of our pit crew. Jamie Little, you're up.
Well, Marty, for a handful of drivers tonight, they're feeling a lot of pressure about tomorrow and making the chase. So what is tonight? Well, it's time to just relieve that stress, think about having fun, concentrate on getting the win. One of those drivers, Clint Boyer, this is one of his favorite racetracks. He's won in both Cup and Nationwide Series. And last year here, he dominated, leading 195 laps. He's hoping that this 29 car will be just as strong starting fourth. Vince?
Well, Jamie, part of success in sports is bouncing back from adversity. This 38 team, the Great Clips team with driver Jason Leffler, understands that all too well. They're coming off one of their worst showings of the season last week in Atlanta when Leffler says he spent most of the night sideways. Well, crew chief Scott Zipadelli says they're going to take a mulligan on that one. They know they're a better team than what they had a week ago in Atlanta. They know they're better. They've proven it this week. They rolled off the truck fastest in practice this morning. They'll start 14th. Shannon?
Tonight, Scott Wimmer takes over as driver of the number 5 Junior Motorsports car, and there is a whole lot of confidence within that camp. For driver, he finished second in this race last season. For team, they're coming off that pole run last week in Atlanta. They realize there is a stout field out there tonight, but someone's got to win, and they figured, why not us? Marty?
All right, thanks, Shannon. We have a total of 8 onboard cameras. You've already seen the one with Kevin Harvick in the number 33. There are the rest of them. As you can see, we've got a good smattering all across the field. Carl Edwards should be fun to watch coming all the way from the back as he's going to go to the rear. Our over-the-wall crew cam will be Ben Steger. He's on the number 62, the rear tire carrier. There he is. Lives in Fairfax, Virginia. He's going to give us the view of what it's like when he's carrying that tire. And let's talk about the race analysis. We're going to go 250 laps on this 3 track, and pit road speed don't go over 40 or you get busted. And pit window, Andy, it's going to be a 2-stop race.
Yeah, and you expect to see a lot of caution at a short track, but if it goes green, you can go roughly 100, 110 laps on a tank of fuel.
All right, pace car is off. Race number 27, the 2009 NASCAR Nationwide Series is green. I guess the first question is, where was Kyle?
I think he thought it was 2 to go instead of 1 to go.
Yeah, I'm not sure he was ready for that, and or either he had it in the wrong gear to start with.
I think he's got it in the right gear now, though. He's powering back by Paul Menard on the outside, coming off of turn 4. But you don't usually see Kyle Busch get caught sleeping, but he was there.
Denny Hamlin, and we've got a crash. Michael Annette in the 15. The 61 of Matt Carter's also involved in that.
Go.
The 78 of Kevin LePage, the 3rd car. Ooh, a lot of damage on that 78. So we don't even make it 1 full lap before we have a crash coming into turn number 4.
Carter gets his car turned back around, headed for the garage.
Yeah, Kevin LePage is still sitting down off of turn 4 on the bottom of the track, out of the way.
NASCAR safety crew is on the scene. Let's go back and take a look again. We'll start it with Stephen Wallace's. On board with Stephen Wallace.
This is getting the green flag going down into turn 1.
See the 61 and the 15 right here. Two of them that were a part of this.
There on the bottom, 3 wide. Double work at the top. 34 coming outside. And double wide, still outside.
Right down the back straightaway into turn 3. Somebody locks up the brakes for you in front.
Keep your head up. It's all good. It's all good. Still outside. Got room back there with the 15 here.
Look like a little stack up.
Yeah, just a matter of checking up, and those guys were in the throttle.
It was Johnny Chapman that got brakes, and I think you're right. That got some other guys looking in the mirror real quick.
Yeah, it just stacked up behind him, and then these two cars here are the victims. Actually, it's Kevin LePage and Matt Carter that get the worst of it.
With a 10, Justin Marks also goes around, but he managed to keep it off the wall, and there's Kevin. Vince, you got the update on what happened to Kyle Busch on that start?
Just as they were coming around turn 4 to get ready for the start, they came on the radio and reminded Kyle, make sure you don't beat the 20 to the line because he's starting second. The 20 actually has to cross the line ahead of the 18. Well, they came on the radio shortly thereafter, and after Kyle got snookered there and said, well, you didn't have to let him beat you to the line by that much. Kyle felt like Denny jumped the start on him a little bit and didn't feel like the starter was even really ready to throw the green flag yet. So a little controversy right off the bat, but I'm guessing Kyle Busch is going to recover pretty convincingly.
All's fair in love and war, teammates, and you know, as far as those guys, they'll sort it out on the racetrack by the time
they have a bet.
Yeah, that's right. They've got the bet.
Some nights, you catch great cards, mix up your play, and completely control the action. And it's still not enough. But there's always another hand. We play at fulltiltpoker.net.
We were just getting ready to go fishing, and 5 Hour Energy's in that little stand by the cash register. I bought about 4 or 5 of them. Me and all my buddies took them. The next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're out in the lake, and we're fishing. You know, we're still fishing, and we're still catching fish, and it kept us wide awake. You're reacting a lot faster. Your eyes are wide open. You're paying a lot more what's going on, and I just think it really helps out when I'm racing my car.
The thing I like about 5 Hour Energy, no crashes.
Steve, I'll tell you one thing. This family doesn't like crashes.
5 Hour Energy. I use it. I love it. That was good.
We didn't know which of the 3,296 Holiday Inn hotels you'd be staying in. So we're refreshing all of them. Holiday Inn, proud sponsor of Holiday Inn Racing.
Monday, the first day of training camp. It's back to being hit with all the stresses of work.
How was your weekend?
It's day 1 of that 3 o'clock lull. And that guy who always asks,
mind if I jump in?
But Monday Night Football is returning to ESPN, where Adrian's moves will be making the guys in the booth say, lean back, redonkulous, and play on, playa, so relax and run steady. Because on Monday nights, you roll with us, 3 deep in the booth.
The NASCAR.com Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
What a beautiful view here at the Virginia 529 College Savings 250 at Richmond International Raceway as we are under our first caution, and it came right at the conclusion of lap number 1 involving 3 cars. Right now Kevin LePage's car has been taken behind the wall, and you can see there's the damage on the 78, and of course Carter, Matt's car, 3 laps down. They're trying to fix it so he can get back out there. A lot of tape, and I don't know how well that's going to aerodynamically work.
It's going to be a long night for Matt Carter if he chooses to run that thing like that the whole night.
Okay, so everybody except those 2 are on the lead lap, and we're going to be doubling up. Which way's our leader, Denny Hamlin, going to go, inside or outside?
He can't go off of that first one, but I'm going to say he's going to take the inside here.
And do you think Kyle's going to be ready this time?
Yeah, let's do it over, he says. See if I can do a little better.
Well, you were right, DJ. He did pick the inside. And there's Kyle right alongside. Then it is Menard in third and Martin Truex in fourth. And then there's the 29 of Clint Boyer in fifth with Brad Keselowski rounding out your top six. Lights are out on the pace car, so we're going to be going back to green flag racing here.
I think we'll see very few guys that can make a pass on the leader on the start of this race from the outside position. But there are a couple that could possibly do it, and Kyle Busch is one of those drivers. He really can get going on these starts and doesn't mind utilizing that high line.
Pace car pulls off. The Joe Gibbs duo comes out of turn number 4. Flag is in the air. We're back to green flag racing again, and it is also the 20 of Hamlin quickly into the lead. Three wide through that second corner. Everybody made it okay. Right there, the battle with the 80 or the 98 of Menard. That is for fourth with Keselowski. Whoa, this may not work very well. You got 3 wide, and somehow they made it.
They did.
Tight.
Only with a little cooperation from each other, did they?
And look out. You saw the 26 there, Michael McDowell. He almost got up into the 66. Here is now Keselowski got around the 98. And here comes Greg Biffle. Look at him hacksawing that wheel.
Oh, man, he's up in that high groove and digging.
And he gets around Menard, so move him up to the 5th position. And here comes Boyer.
Well, these guys would really like to widen this groove out. Most of the time today, everybody's been somewhere around the bottom, maybe just one lane up, but they would really like to get some more racing room on this racetrack through the night.
Well, Brendan Gaughan's doing his part. He's running that high line, trying to put a little rubber down.
Doesn't he always like that high line? He seems like he lives up there.
Yeah, he loves that high line.
That's Scott Speed right in front of him in the 99 as he's trying to work on him. And meanwhile, right underneath is the 11 of Trevor Bayne. And it looks like Bayne may try and go underneath him there. Can he make it stick? No. The high line's better right now for Gaughan. He holds on to the spot as they come by for another lap. Jason Leffler, you see him right there dueling with the 32. And that is David Rudman. And you want to know about Carl Edwards coming from the back towards the front? Well, Carl is up to 28th already, and he's moving even farther, Jamie Little.
Well, the good news is he has a great car. Bad news is they had a bad qualifying run. They qualified 39th, but that was because they had a broken spark plug. After qualifying, they replaced all the spark plugs. It was an unapproved adjustment because it was an impound race. They had to slip back to 43rd. He is on it. He's in a car that won an ORP, Marty. He's already climbing up to 27.
And looking for more. Let's update you. Kevin LePage has been released from the infield medical care center. And Matt Carter's car is behind the wall. And Johnny Chapman has now had his 21st DNF as a starting part. So that gets you up to date. Dennis Setzer is 1 lap down. Everybody else on the lead lap as you're on board with Carl. And there he goes again.
Yeah, he's just moving around. Here goes. Here's our in-race reporter, Kevin Harvick. We told us he had a good race car.
Yeah, he's been battling this 32 car, David Rudman, pretty hard. He finally gets by, gets that spot. But he did. He had a good car in practice, and I was actually surprised he qualified as far back as he did.
Well, he's picked up 6 spots so far from 18th up to 12th. He's got a bit of a log jam right in front of him with the 38 of Leffler and the 62 of Gaughan. Shannon?
Well, Kevin Harvick, this is the same car that he ran at Michigan. He finished 5th in that race. When he got out of the car, he said to his crew chief, this car has a ton of downforce. It will be good at Richmond. So, of course, they brought it here this weekend. Kevin Harvick's been close to winning here before in his own car, and he's won here before 4 times. So looking for a great run tonight.
And I think he's faster, guys, but he just can't get past these two.
Looking for a lane. Yeah, nowhere to go right now. Oh, see, Jason Leffler really get loose off of the corners. That opens up bottom side for Kevin Harvick.
Yeah, we heard Shannon talk about downforce, and you think short tracks, you don't think downforce is that critical, but this is one of those short tracks where you have enough speed that downforce really is a key factor in how fast you can run.
47, Coleman Presley has gone behind the wall. It looks like they are parking it for the night, and the 91 has been black flagged. They don't even have a crew chief in the pit box, and that's Hopgood's car. He was running 32nd at the time, but he's going to be coming in. Meanwhile, all this battle continues, and it looks like Harvick's got Brendan Gaughan now squarely in his sights, and he's going to go on the low side, heading into the corner. Nope, not enough. I'll tell you what, Brendan has got that outside line working.
He's making it work so far, and if he keeps doing that, it'll just keep getting better and better. The more laps you put up there, the more rubber that is laid down in that second groove.
Also want to report the 0 J.C. Stout is out. He's taking it behind the wall, and Hobgood has turned off and not only served the penalty, he's headed for the hauler.
Now we see Leffler working that top lane a little bit on Harvick. You can see just how difficult it makes it. I think Harvick's car is faster, but Brendan's able to get a nice run off the corner. Carries a lot of speed into the corner. You see Kevin driving a little further that time down in the corner, trying to clear him. He'll try to slide up in front of him right here. Yeah, he'll just take that spot now. This is one of those tracks that's very frustrating sometimes because you have to have the whole track. You can't just run, if you get pinned down right there, you can't make laps like you need to. You need to be able to run the car all the way out to the wall, especially off of turn 2.
Did you see the slide job Leffler put on? That was nice.
Yeah, that was back to his days up at Raceway Park in Indianapolis.
Yes, it was. So Ruderman now has gotten around Brendan Gaughan. There is the number 1, Martin Truex Jr. That is 3rd place. Brad Keselowski's right on his back bumper, looking to take the spot.
Tell you what, Brad and this team have really been on a roll lately, scoring a lot of points, winning races, just doing a lot of good things. And you know, he's got him a contract to go to the Cup Series next year, so a lot of good things happening.
He has scored more points in the last 6 races than any other driver, and that includes Kyle Busch and Carl Edwards. He's only 71 points out of 2nd place as he goes around and takes 3rd from Martin Truex. And he talked to us about how tough it is to run here at Richmond.
Well, Richmond's the toughest double-duty weekend, or one of the toughest double-duty weekends, because of the way the schedule lines up. Do everything on a nationwide car in one day, then you also have to practice and qualify the Cup car in one day. So you've got a lot going on, and you really don't get a chance to take a break, to even eat or go to the bathroom or any of those things that you need to do to stay healthy and stay in shape when the race comes.
They're in shape with the race car right now. In fact, Brad radioed just a few laps ago that the car's really good. We'll mention a little bit later about how this team has learned to trust each other through the course of this season, Marty.
Well, and he has not had a lot of success here. In 6 starts, he has 1 top 10 finish. That was 4th back in the spring race in May. So he's looking for bigger and better things, and so far he's got it, as he is about 0.6 of a second now away from Truex in 4th. But he's 2.2 seconds behind Denny Hamlin, who has led every lap of the 26 that we have run so far. And he's got a ½ a second lead over his Joe Gibbs Racing teammate. There they are. They look like twins tonight, except for the numbers.
J.D. Power & Associates just announced its 2009 awards. And guess who business owners rated highest in customer satisfaction? Twice. It wasn't the phone company. It was Optimum Business. In nationwide studies, customers rated Optimum Business highest overall for phone and internet, based on factors like reliability, customer service, and even billing. For data and voice, the customer's choice is Optimum Business. Call 1-866-580-1388 today.
It's your home. You're proud to call it your own. At Ace, we feel the same way about our Ace brand products. 12,000 different ways to save money while getting the job done right. Ace brand. Quality, value, and selection at Ace.
The helpful place.
Visit your local Ace hardware dealer, Williams Lumber and Home Centers, and nail it right the first time.
Visit Williams Lumber, right?
Right. Conveniently located to serve you.
National title contenders meet for a season-defining duel inside the horseshoe. ESPN College Football Primetime presented by Hampton Hotels. USC Ohio State, Saturday at 8 Eastern. College football lives here.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud,
It's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400. One last shot for the Cup boys to make the chase under the lights. The NASCAR Sprint Cup Series Chevy Rock and Roll 400 presented by Pennzoil. All the races starting tomorrow on ABC. Coverage begins on ESPN with NASCAR Countdown presented by Degree V12 at 7 Eastern. Back here, let's get you updated on a couple of things. Josh Wise is behind the wall. Mark Green has dropped out of the race as well. So we're down to 35 cars still out there on the track. Denny Hamlin is the guy they're all chasing right now. He has a 0.6 of a second lead over Kyle Busch.
He hadn't been able to, Kyle Busch hasn't been able to cut into that much. Occasionally when Denny runs up on a couple of cars, lap cars, he can get a little bit closer, but it looks like the 20 car is about the best car out there. But see Brad Keselowski coming here in. Yeah, he's made up a little bit of ground on both of these guys. And now he's run up on some of the same traffic that they have, but he has been a 1/10 or 2 quicker when they're in the clear. So Brad's got a great car tonight.
That's Robert Richardson in the 23. He's already a lap down. Trying the high side, and he takes care of business, it looks like, with Justin Marks. So as Keselowski now looks straight ahead at the two guys he's chasing, what's going on in their camp, Dave?
Well, Marty, I teased you a little bit about the trust factor with this team. And, you know, when they were during practice today, they didn't have the speed they really wanted. But Brad said he was happy with the car. And Pops told me that that was their indication that he was going to be okay tonight. Sure, they could have done more. Sure, they could have worried about the car and thrown stuff at it. But they've learned that when Brad says it's good, they can trust him. This team has come a long way in that department. It wasn't always like that.
Now there is Pops on the left side, and of course as he continues his quest to get to the front, let's check in on the 98 because Menard started third but has dropped back to 10th. There's Jason Leffler. They're duking it out. Eric McClure in his 100th nationwide start is already a lap down, and these two locking horns.
Yeah, Justin Leffler looks like he has a pretty good car tonight. He was racing with Kevin Harvick. Well, Lord, Kevin has since gone on and moved up a couple of spots. You see now he's trying to take this 10th spot away from Paul Menard. And Paul qualified really well, but he has slipped back quite a bit. I don't really know exactly what's going on with the 99 team. Vince?
Yeah, just tight in the center. Mainly, that's the biggest complaint from Paul Menard so far is just they can't get the car to turn and get through the center the way they'd like it. Meanwhile, the driver behind him, the 38 of Jason Leffler, as you said, starting to gain some spots. He started 14th, challenging for 10th. Says his car's a bit loose, sliding the nose some, and lacking some overall grip. But you get the feeling that the 38 is better than the 98 right now.
All right, while these guys continue to try and figure something out as far as that battle, take a look here at the 66. This is a battle for 18th, 19th, and 20th. Stephen Wallace, Carl Edwards, and Mike Bliss. And boy, Carl is on the move. He is up to 19th, and we've got our second caution. As we got a car up into the wall.
Shelby Howard.
Yeah, Shelby Howard has scraped the wall in turn number 2.
He's poured up pretty good.
Yeah, that's an understatement. That whole right side is pretty well torn up.
Come on down. Hurry.
It looks like he may have a right front down. I don't know if that caused it or that's part of the crash.
He was running 21st at the time of the crash.
It looks like he could have broke the track bar too. That's a hard
we ain't
lift.
gonna fix it. Pretty bad. Just going to the trailer there.
Yeah, Carl Edwards had driven up into the top 20. You know, we heard him say that he was going to maybe him and Dan would try a little bit of strategy to move him up, but he's already moved inside the top 20. You might be able to just stay on the strategy's on, just drive by them all. Looks like that tire might have let go going into the corner there. Yeah, it did look like that. One thing, you get so much brake heat here that it can melt the bead of the tire and cause it to blow out like that. And I don't know if that's what caused this, but that is one of the problems that you have here at Richmond.
Pits are open, and we've got some takers. Here they come down pit lane, led by the race leader. Jamie, we'll send it your way.
And Clint Boyer started 4th. He was now 6th as he comes in. He made the call, said he wants a track bar adjustment. They're going to go down on the track bar in 4 tires. He says he's loose in, loose off, and fill it with Sunoco fuel, Shannon.
Right side air pressure for Kevin Harvick. He says it's a little tight through the center and could use a little more forward bite. Vince?
Kyle Busch on the bottom of the screen, tight in the center, free off. They talked about a track bar adjustment, but they're going to just make air pressure on the 18. Dave?
Leader Denny Hamlin in, air pressure reduced in the left front, up on the track bar, just a little bit tight in the center. Here's the big question. Can his group beat his teammate up? He will not. The 88 and the 18 both get out ahead of the 20.
because of what happens in pit lane, and it is Brad Keselowski picking up the 2 spots. Kyle Busch will stay second, but Denny Hamlin drops 2. And look at Eric Darnell. He picked up 4. As take a look at the race off pit road, and you can see just by a nose, the 88 will have the race lead when we come back.
It's time to feel the final battle for the chase and the pressure being knocked out. With 8 spots up for grabs, feel just how volatile the standings are. The Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond, tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ABC.
Just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner.
Just show me the Carfax.
A Carfax report can help you choose a great used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
Wireless can bring even more freedom to the freest country on earth. So why should you be penalized for talking to someone just because they're on another network? Shouldn't you be able to call any mobile on any network at any time? It's a free country. Knock yourself out.
Introducing the revolutionary Any Mobile Anytime. Now on the Sprint network, you're free to call 250 million mobile phones nationwide without worrying about the meter running. Only from Sprint, the Now network.
Rated teen.
Kwikset presents Smart Key. Rekeying your lock versus replacing a light bulb. Oh. Rekey your lock in seconds with Smart Key. Only from Kwikset.
As the green flag comes back out, we'll tell you that Mike Wallace got the Aaron's lucky dog. It is Keselowski taking the lead after the pit stops, and there's Denny Hamlin right behind him. And oh, we're going to try 3 wide. Here we go.
They're ganging up on him.
2 against 1 as they go down the backstretch, but so far he's holding his own.
Yeah, Brad looked like he was trying to guard both spots, the low lane and the middle kind of there.
He did a pretty good job. He's still holding on to the race. Biffle's there back and forth saying, you guys go ahead and beat and bang on each other. I'll inherit the lead when all 3 of you crash. Oh, Hamlin gets a little loose coming out of 2.
Now he's going to get a challenge from Kyle Busch.
We found out why the 20 had the rough pit stop. We had 1 lug nut on the right front that we were able to see on a slow motion replay. They took the time to put it back on, lost 2 positions, but they didn't take the penalty.
Yeah, that's a key move right there. Putting that lug nut back on keeps them from having to come back in and go to the tail end of the lead lap, and there's 28 cars on the lead lap, so that would have been a pretty costly penalty.
There is Carl, so he is right now running in 15th position, keeps fighting his way towards the front. That's David Rudiman in the 32 and Scott Speed in the 99 right in front of him. We also want to update you, there were 5 cars that stayed out and got the wave around. And so that brings a few more back on the lead lap. In fact, we only have 4 cars now that are out on the track that are not on the lead lap.
I'm pretty sure if you'd have told Carl that he could be in 15th spot within 50 laps, he'd have been pretty happy with that. Yeah, he didn't have to pull any kind of strategy move. No. He just passed all those cars, and the pit crew did the rest and gained him a few spots on pit road. Yeah, passing another one here. Scott Speed's taking over that 14th spot from him.
There you see Kevin Harvick in the 33. He is now running in 10th. Shannon, what happened on their pit stop?
Well, it was not a flawless pit stop for the 33 team. This is what Kevin Harvick had to say over the radio immediately following.
4 freaking spots. 5 freaking spots. Rear again. Rear. You need to get your stuff together. And have fast cars like we had every week on pit road. Tell you the wheel's loose too.
Well, the team has assured Kevin that the wheel is on tight. But guys, they had a slow pit stop last week in Atlanta. Almost cost them the nationwide race. Ernie Cope said Kevin is a mental driver. When he's upset, it shows on the track. And when he's happy, it shows too. So hoping that these guys get it right and get him happy.
Okay, I want to talk to to you as a driver, go ahead.
Yeah, Kevin's no different than any other driver. When it doesn't go well, some show it a little differently, but you know that puts you in a bad position, tough place to pass on this racetrack. Even though there's room to do it, cars run the same speed a lot, so it makes it difficult. We saw him last week almost try to give that race away by a couple of subpar pit stops. So that's an area they're going to have to work in, Andy, if they're going to be they're going to challenge for a win at a place like this.
Yeah, the problem is it's so hard to fix a problem like that during the race, and everybody kind of gets down on making a pit stop like the driver. You try to keep him up. You see Kyle Busch now working the outside.
Kyle's taking a run for the race lead. He looks like he may have it.
It's actually for second spot.
Second place, I'm sorry.
Keselowski jumped out in front of these guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry, my bad. Been so used to seeing the two of them up there for the first part of the race, forgot about
they were in another zip code there for a while, but Brad Keselowski struck out.
Yeah, Brad that's in the other zip code right now, so we got that squared away. My apologies to everybody. And meanwhile, as these guys now try and go in tandem, you know, what's the best thing to do here? Basically run nose to tail and try and pull Keselowski back?
Well, I think they're just going to race and see. You know, you can see them running two different lines. Kyle Busch has gone up to a little higher line than what Denny Hamlin's going to run.
Harvick's he's picked up 2 spots. He's now up to 8th. He's gotten around Boyer, so that's the latest pass there. And you talk about the drivers being emotional. How hard is it to get back into rhythm after you've had that bad pit stop?
Yeah, really, once they throw the green flag and you pass a couple of cars, then you kind of settle back down and say, okay, now I got to go do my job. And you realize that that's just going to be something you're going to deal with. But Kevin's a professional. He knows how to do that. Unfortunately, he's had to deal with it the last couple of years on a number of occasions.
I've seen sometimes drivers get mad and go faster. It's like Kevin's on the move.
Let's update you also. We should report that Dennis Setzer's now out of the race. Shelby Howard has retired. Nemechek is out. We've already given you the rest of them. So right now, 32 cars still on the racetrack.
Remember when I got my nationwide insurance policy?
Sure do. You were only 16.
The Earnhardt family has had nationwide insurance for more than 30 years because they give me an on-your-side review. That gets me the coverage that I need at the right price for me. Now that's on your side. Call 1-866-500-5555.
Or your local agent.
And get a quote today.
It's Applebee's 2 for $20, the one deal in the neighborhood where you get real food. Featuring a half rack of our new double glazed baby back ribs with your choice of sauces. Get 1 full-size appetizer and 2 real entrees for just $20. It's 2 for $20, only at Applebee's.
Every 60 seconds, someone, somewhere, is making the switch to Tempur-Pedic. Now, it's your turn. Call now for your free information kit, including a Tempur material sample, along with a DVD and catalog. Traditional mattresses use metal springs that can cause pressure points, causing you to toss and turn. Only the Tempur-Pedic mattress automatically adjusts to your body while keeping your spine in perfect alignment. Plus, because Tempur-Pedic doesn't transfer motion, you won't disturb your partner when you get out of bed or shift positions. Best of all, Tempur-Pedic will let you sleep on one of their sleep systems for an incredible 90 nights before you make your purchase decision. If you want the ultimate in comfort, if you wish to get more sleep but can't, it's time you make the switch to Tempur-Pedic.
Call 1-800-770-8146 for your free information kit. That's 1-800-770-8146. Call today.
For the first time in his 7 Richmond starts in the Nationwide Series, Brad Keselowski is leading the Virginia 529 College Savings 250. And he just went around Benny Gordon with the 911 Tribute car. So Benny, who was running in 29th position, is now a lap down. That means we have 28 cars on the lead lap. And while that was going on, here comes Carl Edwards. He has got Paul Menard in his sights. That's for 12th. And he's looking like he's making this pretty easy. And as we go a little further forward, you got the battle for 5th. There's the 11 to Trevor Bain. He goes underneath. Martin Truex, and here comes the 33 of Harvick. As Harvick restarted 10th, he's up to 7th.
He's still on the move, just watching his lap times. He's using a lot of car, but he's passed a lot of cars, and he's on the move to the front.
Yeah, Kevin Harvick is and doing that, but I'm really impressed with Trevor Bain in this 11 car. Kid goes fast in a lot of places that we've seen, most everywhere that we've seen. But as you can see tonight, he knows how to drive in race conditions, doing a fantastic job. He's got this car up into 5th right now.
And that's Greg Biffle right in front of him. Here comes Harvick going underneath. So Kevin's got the bit between his teeth. He's picked up another spot. So Harvick up to 6th. View from back looking towards the number 1, and Harvick's trying to open up some more ground. The 11 car, of course, right there with Benny Gordon. Let's get more from Dave Burns.
Yeah, just real quick on their first run, Trevor Bain found that car to be loose, so they made a chassis adjustment for him on that first run. Just reported that it needs some rear grip, so good feedback. Doesn't quite have the car where he wants it. By the way, back there, the 1 of Martin Truex, tight in the center again. That's why Harvick got by.
All right. Bain had a career best finish of 7th at O'Reilly Raceway Park after leading 34 laps there. Here is a great battle. We got Menard in the 98. Scott Speed right alongside. The 38 is Jason Leffler.
And you see Steve Wallace not far behind these guys.
This is the battle for 13th on the track. And there's Stephen Wallace and Justin Allgaier. So you got 5 cars all dicing for the same position, basically.
Yeah, that's what makes this racetrack so great. Drivers love it. You can race side by side, lap after lap. You don't want to have to do that if you're the guy trying to make the pass, but that's what this racetrack allows. We see on the left side of your screen there, Carl Edwards trying to pick up 2 spots.
Yeah, that's David Rudiman and Scott Wimmer in the 5, and it looks like he may get both of them as he heads down into 3. Wimmer's got the high line, and yes, he's cleared him.
Yeah, that gets him into the top 10th spot. So really good for 70 laps into the race, starting last. Very impressive by Carl Edwards.
Well, we should remember 2 of Carl's 3 nationwide wins this season have come after starting at the rear at Milwaukee and at O'Reilly Raceway Park. Jamie?
It's all about that carrot dangling, right? He's chasing all these drivers down. Great car. Last pit stop was a good one. 4 tires. He took an air pressure and gained a bunch of positions on pit road. Looking to crack the top 10. Says the car is loose in and loose off, Marty.
All right, Jamie, thanks for the update as Brad Keselowski still leading, and Carl wants to get up there in the battle with him, but he's still got a bit of a ways to go. He's 9.2 seconds behind our race leader. Brad's lead over second place is 1 second.
One thing I'm seeing on Carl Edwards' cars, he's doing this without using a lot of brake. I see a lot of brake heat in a lot of the cars, but Carl Edwards doesn't seem to have that. You don't see it, the rotors glowing nearly as red on his cars I've seen on others. So that's a good sign, especially for a long run, because you don't overheat those front tires, and he can keep, having grip in those tires and able to go the long way.
Well, not a lot of wheel input as we watch him here. And see this battle with Scott Speed and Scott Wimmer.
That's a battle for 12th on the track. Speed trying to take it away from Wimmer. Got the low line, but can he clear on this corner? Looks like he's got him. So as Wimmer moves back another spot, what are they saying in that 5 camp, Shannon?
Well, the handling of the car, the 5 car, not exactly where they want it right now. Just a little bit loose in and tight off. They did make some changes on that pit stop, but they had a pretty successful practice. Jason Leffler looks to the inside of Scott Wimmer right now and tries to make that move. Crew Chief Brian Campy told me that they did not want to dial themselves out, so they were very conservative on tires. Right now, Scott Wimmer losing some positions, looking like the handling is going away. Marty?
Yeah, and he has backed up another spot as you finished up. There goes Jason Leffler, and the 66 of Stephen Wallace is beginning to close. Right now, I think Wimmer's praying for a yellow.
Yeah, I've seen this 5 car. You're talking about brake rotor heat. I've seen his rotors be about as hot as anybody's. That could be causing him some problems here, too. Is the reason he's slipping back.
Justin Allgaier right on the back bumper of the 98. Meanwhile, here comes the 33 of Kevin Harvick looking to get around the 11 of Trevor Bain. This is for 5th position on the racetrack.
Well, once again, Trevor Bain doing a nice job as he races here with Harvick. He says his car's not exactly what he's looking for, but he's still able to run right there solidly in the top 5 as he tries to hold Harvick off.
Trevor seems to like the high line, and it seems to be working for him as Harvick's underneath, but he can't seal the deal.
Yeah, it makes it difficult when you're that car underneath. If a guy's good enough to be on that outside, can get a good run off the corner, it can make your life pretty miserable down there trying to make that pass, because as Andy said just a little bit ago, you need all the racetrack here to really run fast.
Oh, I think he may have him this time. Going down into 1. Yes, sir. So the 33 has cracked back into the top 5. So Kevin Harvick taking all his frustration from that last pit stop out on the racetrack. There is your race leader, Brad Keselowski. Now he has led a total of 38 laps. Denny Hamlin led 42. He has got a 1.1 second lead over Kyle Busch, as the rest of the field is in hot pursuit as we've run 80 of 250 laps. Does Kyle get win number 4 at Richmond, or does Brad get number 1?
Americans are always finding ways to be more responsible. And so is BMW. It's called Efficient Dynamics, a commitment to lower emissions while enhancing the thrill of the drive. It's the reason BMW offers the most fuel-efficient luxury fleet in America. And while you'll find responsibility quite exhilarating.
Hurry in to the BMW Greener Days sales event now and lease a 328i for only $349 a month.
Get away to a place where schedules are dictated by sunlight alone. Where the correct form doesn't refer to paperwork. Where underground caves have nothing to do with commuting. From your world to our world, less than 2 hours away. Plan your Bermuda getaway at bermudatourism.com.
Oops, stay out fast lane, bro.
The NASCAR.com Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
The Craftsman Cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
On September 25th.
Somebody's up there.
Experience.
What did you see?
They didn't seem human. Pure, primal terror.
Help me! Just run!
Pandora rated R starts September 25th.
A look at the race leader at the 1/3 mark of tonight's NASCAR Nationwide Series race from Richmond. That is Brad Keselowski out in front by a 2nd and 1/10 over Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin. A race that has featured 2 cautions so far. One on the very first lap, 1 at lap 40. 1 round of pit stops for the leaders, and that's where Keselowski got the lead, going from 3rd to 1st on the lap 42 stops. Other guys who did not fare quite as well on those stops, Kevin Harvick, Rusty, and he's still digging out of that hole.
Oh, yeah, he sure is. He's drove that thing all the way up to 5th position right now, but he made a pit stop and he lost 5 positions. And this is 2 weeks in a row right now. They're having a problem with the right rear tire for whatever reason. Looks like Ernie Cope needs to get these guys practicing again because Kevin's getting frustrated behind the wheel.
Yeah, he is, Rusty. He's really got after his crew there real aggressively. But I've been watching young Trevor Bayne, and he has done an outstanding job. DJ mentioned it earlier, but this young man out of Knoxville, Tennessee, has gotten in this car. We've watched him all year long run sporadically, and he's been a good qualifier, but tonight he's keeping that rascal up front, and he's got a good-looking hot rod, Rusty.
And for his first time in that car, too, Brad.
Yeah, and it's a great race car. We know that. He's taking advantage of the opportunity.
Big deal. So thoughts of Rusty and Brad in the early going. Let's get the thoughts of some of the teams on their cars as Nationwide Insurance takes us up to speed. Dave's got the leader.
And just a little bit tight off turn 2 right now for the leader. He discovered something in practice today about braking. He said it's all about how smoothly I can brake. He was trying to brake too hard at both ends, but realized that when he did that, he upset the car. Smooth has been fast for Brad all night. Vince?
Well, the 2nd place car is Kyle Busch. You know, when they won here in May, they weren't the fastest car at the track, but it was the fastest when it needed to be, and that was the key. As Kyle Busch said, everything just went right for him that night. Well, they're not the the fastest tonight either. They need some help in the center and the rear. They're talking with the crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, about the changes they'll make. Dave?
His teammate Denny Hamlin right there in third place, going around Benny Gordon in the 72. In practice, they were happy with the car, but they weren't sure they had what they would take to win the race. They changed about 40% of the car to new stuff, undid about 40% of things they tried in practice, and had about 20% of the adjustability built back in, according to crew chief Dave Rogers. That's a lot of changes on a car that was second fastest in practice. Vince?
The 16 car of Greg Biffle is running fourth. Biffle's won twice this year, including a victory at Phoenix. Now, this is the same car he drove to that win at Phoenix. And crew chief Eddie Pardue told me before the race tonight they were really happy in practice. He had a little smile on his face. Looked very sly, like maybe they may have had something at the end of this one tonight. So keep an eye on the 16. Shannon.
Kevin Harvick, a four-time winner here at Richmond, started this race 18th, currently trying to rebound from that poor pit stop earlier in the run. The car has been tight through the center. They finished fifth here in the spring, and according to Ernie Cope, he felt they were going to be a lot more competitive here tonight. Dave?
Trevor Bayne running in the 6th position in the 11 car. You know, he's the 5th different driver in 6 weeks for this 11 car as they try to figure out what to do for next year. He's giving it another great ride after Andrew Ranger finished 3rd in Montreal. Right now, if he finished where he is, it would be his best finish of the season. Jamie?
Well, he keeps moving forward. Carl Edwards in that 60 car. You see him behind the 11 car. He's been turning lap times faster than the leader. Remember, they made a spark plug change after qualifying that sent him to the back of the pack, and he has been nothing but on the move. Right now, he says car is loose in and loose off. Dave?
The one car, Martin Truex Jr., has been battling the same thing all night, tight in the center of the corner. That's caused him to use a lot of brakes. Glowing brakes was their last discussion. He said the brakes don't feel good at all. And he was told by his spotter, maybe that's because those rotors are glowing so big. Try to back off if you can. Right behind and running him down is Eric Darnell right now. He's been very quiet on the radio. And they're telling him, you're better than the one car. Just try to get around him. On that first stop, it was pretty good for Darnell. He just had to make a slight adjustment, air pressure, for a car that was just a little bit tight. Jamie?
And Scott Speed pulling double duty for the 9th time ever in the Nationwide Series. He just loves coming over here running this Nationwide car. He said it's all about seat time, trying to help his efforts on the other side in the Cup Series. Running the same tire, he actually can learn something here. The car so far has been great. Air pressure adjustment, 4 tires on that first pit stop. Alan?
Okay, Jamie, thanks. So there's up to speed on the top 10 in the race. Rusty Wallace, you're a 6-time winner at this racetrack. Long green flag run like we've got going right now. How do things change for the drivers inside the car?
The cream really rises to the top at this point right here. I mean, the drivers are going to start working the top lane, trying to hunt for some bite. And the guys have got the car that is hanging on real good right now are the guys you're going to see probably at the end of this race. I think we're deep enough in this race right now that the track is settled in, the rubber's down, the track's cooled off. And right now, Brad Keselowski looks really good. I've been watching his front brake rotors. They're cool. He's not having a problem there. So far, so good.
And the other thing we're seeing tonight here, Brad, is the fall off in speed on a set of tires, which will affect the crew chief's strategy calls.
Yeah, and I talked to Kevin Harvick before the race about this drop-off. He said the track has weathered over the years. It's lost some grip, so as the race goes on, fuel burns off, it loses traction. And I want to note, too, Rusty and I have 6 wins between us here at this racetrack. Let's just clear that up right now.
Appreciate that. So Brad Keselowski out in front of Kyle Busch, 0.6 of a second, with Denny Hamlin, Greg Biffle, and Kevin Harvick rounding out your top 5. 20 cars on the lead lap. Caution flag should bring the leaders back to pit road. We'll see if it happens soon.
The Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond, tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ABC.
All right, so with friends and family, I can add my agent, my friends back at home, the Penske shop, even Rusty's home number.
We talk a lot.
And talk without using my minutes.
That's included at no extra cost.
Plus,
the over 80 million people already on Verizon Wireless. A lot of fans.
Race fans know a good deal when they see one. Unlimited calling to any 5 out-of-network numbers, plus America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And check out our racing family at HorizonChampionshipRacing.com.
Just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner.
Just show me the Carfax.
A Carfax report can help you choose a great used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
It's Applebee's 2 for 20, the one deal in the neighborhood where you get real food. Featuring a half rack of our new double glazed baby back ribs.
And $50 when you buy ADT's family package. And ask about our new technology, like our keychain remote.
ADT, always there.
Every 3 seconds, an identity is stolen. Deny digital dangers with the advanced protection of Norton Internet Security, because every click matters. Click on norton.com/deny.
ESPN College football continues tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern. This is the one that everybody's been talking about since the preseason. USC versus Ohio State is presented by Hampton Hotels. You'll see it on ESPN tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern. Back here at the Richmond International Raceway, Brad Keselowski's lead is down to 0.6 of a second. Before the break, it was 1.1 seconds. Kyle Busch is closing in.
Yeah, Kyle looks like he's a little better when they're kind of clear of traffic. He's been able to gain some on Brad. Brad's been able to negotiate the traffic really well, but as they've gotten clear of that, Kyle's been able to make up some time on him.
Battle for 8th on the racetrack. Eric Darnell has the spot. Scott Speed wants it. The 99 goes underneath. Can he make it stick as they come through? Oh, they're oh so close. And they're still going for the drag race down the backstretch, heading for 3. And finally, Darnell says, okay, I got to give.
Yeah, nice move by Scott Speed. He's doing a really good job, and you can see an improvement as he goes to these racetracks the second time, Andy.
Yeah, I think this is really helping him. Just that experience, even though the cars are a lot different between the Cup Series and the Nationwide Series, it's still a lot of help. But look at this race for the lead heating up, guys.
I was going to say, hello, I'm back here. Here I come. Kyle Busch on the move. And the lead, well, forget about how it's under 0.3 of a second, and it's getting closer every lap.
Yeah, Kyle's really looked like he's gaining some time down into the center of the corner on Brad Keselowski. That's a tough place to make a pass, but obviously his car is good on the exit, too.
And I say, where's Denny Hamlin? Well, he's 3rd place, but he's another full second behind. There he is.
You see Michael Annett in the 15 car passing Denny Hamlin. Michael Annett was on pit road just a few laps ago and got new tires. That's why he's a little faster than the leaders right now.
Yeah, and Michael's 4 laps down. Here we go. Battle for the race lead. The 18, Kyle Busch, going underneath Brad Keselowski. The matter is, can he make it stick with the lap traffic of Matt Carter, who's just come back onto the racetrack after that big crash that he had early in the race, and he's got it done. So we have our 3rd different leader now. And now we can start counting laps because Mr. Busch is trying to close in on a record. Only one man has led 2,000 laps in Nationwide Series history in a season. That's Sam Ard. And Kyle is like a 1971.
Well, I'd say he's going to get that record easily. Might get it tonight.
Yeah, here shortly, probably. Jason Leffler, Martin Truex, Justin Allgaier. That is all a battle for position as well from 12th, 13th, and 14th. Let's go on board.
You see Truex is really slipping back in the field. Said his car was tight, and it's really taking its toll on those front tires.
Yeah, you can see him really get down into the corners to make it Steven have a lot of brake heat. You see Steven up here trying to pass Eric Darnell, looking to get in the top 10.
He's got him on the low side. Looks like he's going to be able to make it stick as they head down the backstretch, but nope. Darnell says, wait a minute, I want to have another shot at it. Steven says, well, I'm still going to force the issue, and he gets him clear.
Yeah, it looks like Stephen Walsh's 66 is a good long-run car tonight. Starting to rise to the top at the end of this run.
He is actually one of the fastest cars on the track. In fact, faster than the second-place car. The first-place car is Kyle Busch, as he has opened up a second over Brad Keselowski. So the longer this run goes, the better it is for Kyle Busch. Does that sound like a familiar scenario from last week? It was the 33 of Kevin Harvick. But right now, Kyle's in control. There you see the top 5 as we're racing Richmond.
Do you have any idea how fast you were? Hey, I know you. Yeah? You're that GoDaddy girl. I love GoDaddy.com domain names, websites, hosting.
Less than $1 a month.
Affirmative. You know, I've always wanted to be a GoDaddy girl. Well, you seem to have what it takes. Oh, I definitely have what it takes.
See what happens next at GoDaddy.com.
I kind of knew their reaction would be a little like, you know, what are you thinking?
I had a knot in my chest.
I didn't really want her to go, but I knew she could do it.
I felt like there were bigger and better things for me to do. She took what she was doing seriously. My self-confidence just went through the roof.
It was awesome to see her transform from a girl in a small town to a soldier.
If your son or daughter wants to talk about joining the Army, listen, you made them strong. We'll make them Army strong. Find out more at goarmy.com.
It's 7 a.m. Remember, today is your lucky day, the day you get to drive the vehicle of your dreams. Traffic is chaotic, so be careful when you go out. From the DegreeMen Absolute Protection line comes DegreeMen V12 Special Edition. Protection for the ride of your life.
This is a special announcement. The public is entitled to purchase cars and homes seized by police and bank agents. An inventory of cars and homes are available now and will be sold to the public. Call 800-620-6812. Cars available from $500. Homes available from $199 a month. Down payment assistance available for those who qualify. For listings in your area, call 800-620-6812. That's 800-620-6812. Call 800-620-6812.
The best soccer in the world is now on ESPN. Saturdays, Barclays Premier League. Sundays, Spanish Primera Division. This Saturday, Liverpool takes on Burnley on ESPN2.
You're looking at our race leader as we are approaching the midway point here at Richmond. Kyle Busch has now led a total of 11 laps. He has got a 0.7 of a second lead over second place. Now Denny Hamlin, as Brad Keselowski has fallen back into third, 1.4 seconds behind. Kevin Harvick is in your fourth place car, 3.5 seconds behind. But what we've noticed during the break, as Carl Edwards, that's right, Carl is now fifth and closing. The rotors on that 33 are glowing.
Well, they really are. He's used a lot of car to make these spots up that he lost on pit road. You can see right there. Rotor still glowing. He's not even on the brake pedal there coming off the corner, but you see right here getting down in the corner. This is 1,500 degrees on that rotor temp, and that takes its toll a lot of times on that tire and tire bead. We got our Craftsman Tech garage, and maybe Tim Brewer can shit. Well, we got a caution, guys.
Halfway.
Maybe we'll do that later.
Right at the halfway mark. In fact, just one lap past halfway, we pick up our third caution of the night, and waiting for the call. It must be debris because there is absolutely no contact with the wall. There is some, well, that's some paper. Can't believe that would be the reason for the caution, but we'll wait and get the official word from NASCAR. So it'll tighten this field up. We have a total of 17 cars right now on the lead lap. And there you see our race leader, Kyle Busch. And our Aaron's Lucky Dog free pass will go to the 27 of Jason Keller. So he'll get back on the lead lap. That'll give us a total of 18 cars on the lead lap.
Well, this is a welcome caution for a lot of drivers. That was a long green flag run, and a lot of guys want to make changes and adjustments and get some fresh tires on there.
It killed Scott Wimmer because he was one of those that got put down one lap, and Brad Keselowski's going to really love it also because he had fallen back to third.
Now let's see if Harvick can have a good pit stop here. He drove by a lot of cars, made up those spots they lost last time. Let's see if he can get them back here and maintain his track position.
81 laps of green, but now we're under caution, and Jamie Little, they're heading your way.
Carl Edwards says he's a little free off. He wants a drink, a water, 4 tires, and a wedge adjustment in the left rear. Shannon?
Definitely some pressure for this 33 over the wall crew. Kevin Harvick says plowing is the condition of the car. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment in 4 tires. Vince.
Nick Odell working his magic on the front. He's the tire changer on the front side. They're making an air pressure adjustment and a track bar adjustment. Kyle says it's 8 out of 10 tight in the center. Dave.
Too loose off for Denny Hamlin to race this car any faster. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment. 4 tires going on, full of Sunoco fuel. He will get beat off pit road by 3 or 4 cars. Another slow stop for the 20.
Kyle Busch will maintain the lead. Keselowski picks up 1. Carl Edwards and Greg Biffle each pick up 2. Kevin Harvick, you saw the time on his pit stop. He drops another spot. And Denny Hamlin, the biggest loser of all, as he drops back a total of 4. So we're past halfway, our third caution here at
a team, and my racing keeps me pretty busy. I need insurance, it's on my side. That's why the Earnhardt family's had nationwide insurance for more than 30 years. I get the coverage that I need at the right price for me. That's what you can get when you call 1-866-500-5555. I trust them. You can too. That's on your side. Get a quote today.
Just show me the Carfax.
I've got something better than Carfax. I have a note from the previous owner.
Just show me the Carfax.
A Carfax report can help you choose a great used car. It's free at thousands of reputable dealers. Just say, show me the Carfax.
It's Applebee's 2 for $20. The one deal in the neighborhood where you get real food. Featuring a half rack of our new double glazed baby back ribs with your choice of sausage. Get one full-size appetizer and 2 real entrees for just $20. It's 2 for $20, only at Applebee's.
You'll never see me do donuts in front of 130,000 fans.
Or spray champagne on the crowd. Or give out autographs before a race.
But that doesn't mean we can't be heroes at the track.
By taking part in the 2009
NASCAR Foundation Blood Drive in partnership with the American Red Cross,
we'll make a difference in our community and across our nation.
Join us to participate at your favorite track on September 11th.
Come to the track as a fan.
And leave as a hero.
CO's in Buffalo, and Brady's back as the Bills battle the Pats. Then the Chargers take on the Raiders. ESPN Monday Night Football returns at 7.
Under our third caution, we've had 14 laps so far under the yellow here at Richmond International Raceway. The 27th race on the Nationwide Series schedule. And you want to know why Denny Hamlin lost 4 spots? Let's take you back and watch the right front.
Okay, this is not a replay from the first pit stop, but it sure looks like it. See right here, the right front tire changer has to put another lug nut on that fell off. Boy, that cost him a lot of time. These are the kind of mistakes that you can't have at a short track like this because these spots are too hard to make up. We saw Carl Edwards gain some spots on that pit stop, and you can see right here why. On the right side, Edwards' crew 5.7, Denny Hamlin 8.1. You can see 17.7 second pit stop will lose you spots every time on pit road.
And could that be a glue problem that coming off, or is it indexing the tire back on?
It can be a glue problem, but and if it is, you've just got to slow down a little bit, be a little more methodical about how you put the tire on to keep from knocking those nuts off. But they've got to try to rectify that situation.
Well, while we have a chance, let's take you over the wall with the rear tire carrier on the 62 of Brendan Gaughan. Ben Steger show you what happened during their pit stop.
All right, here we go. We're going to pit this U.S. Fidel Chevy. Mike's taking the lugs off. Put the new one on, tire back. We're going to put the left side now. Mike takes the lug nuts off. Count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, send it. Good stop. Go get it, boys.
I think there's supposed to be 5 there.
There were.
Okay,
Yeah.
He was just anticipating
He just quit
that last
counting. He turned around. He knew he was going to get that last one.
All right, Brendan's right now 20th, 1 lap down. We had 3 on the wave around. Eric McClure, Travis Quabble, and Michael Annette. So they each pick up 1 lap, although Annette is still 2 laps behind. Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Kyle takes the inside, and Brad Keselowski alongside. Look at Harvick diving low, trying to get under Carl. Not going to happen.
Still 2 by 2.
Coming out of 2 down the backstretch.
Yeah, Harvick was actually glad the 20 car had his problems because that only lost him 1 spot instead of 2 on the pit stops there. So, but he's still, the 20 is able to get back by him on this restart.
Tried to take a look underneath the 16. You're on board right now with Greg Biffle. And now here goes the 20 underneath as they're side by side. And it looks like, yes, Denny is going to clear him. So Hamlin picks up 4th.
He's not wasting any time making those spots back up that they lost over him on pit road.
Scott Speed's got his hands full with the 32 of David Rudiman just at the very top of your screen. There also the battle for 3rd. We got battles about 3 different places in the top 10 right now. There's Harvick underneath Biffle.
Hamlin takes the 3rd spot away from Carl Edwards.
So all this happening at the same time. Here comes Trevor Bayne looking to get under the 16 as well. So Biffle going backwards right now here at Richmond.
I can't say enough about this Trevor Vane. He's really doing a good job. This 18-year-old knows how to drive these cars fast and really impressive with his first time in this car.
So let's reset it for you. It is Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin's up ahead.
Trouble.
Oh, no, we've got problems for Jason Leffler.
Looks like he had a tire go down.
Yeah, it looks like the right front.
66
He's rubbed that into somebody, though, because
Fender's not bad, just something cut it.
he's rubbed the paint off of the tire.
Yeah, 9 times out of 10, that contact right there will result in a tire going down.
He was 11th at the time.
Either a valve stem or cut the sidewall out of the tire.
All right, the word we're hearing is from our spotters that he could have gotten together with the 66 here. Let's take a look on the right front.
Yeah, you see that left rear tire on the 66.
Oh, yeah, here we go.
Right there's your contact.
Yeah, that's just close racing there. Not sure. I don't think you can fault anybody there.
You see it just either rips the sidewall or the valve stem out of the right front tire on that 38.
Yeah, Stephen, he's lucky if he doesn't have a problem. As much contact as there were there.
Now from the view from Justin Allgaier.
You see Jason Leffler got his left front tire down on the apron below the yellow line. Not sure if he was squeezed down there, but it looked like that got his car loose, and then he got up into Steve.
So Leffler, who puts on a nice spark.
And he does a good job not to hit the wall.
Yes, he did. But he's still looking for that first win, as he has gone winless here this year, and he gets new tires and back out, but he's down to 18th position. Uh-oh, trouble.
Now the problems come.
The fastest internet access in America comes from Optimum Online. First, award-winning Optimum Online put phone company high-speed internet to shame. Then we doubled the speed with Optimum Online Boost. Next, we built Optimum Wi-Fi, free for Optimum Online customers, more than twice as fast as Verizon's 3G network. And now there's Optimum Online Ultra. At up to 101 megabits per second, nothing even comes close. For the fastest internet in America, it's Optimum, or it's not.
Hey, that's me. Did you know you can learn all about Optimum's great products and services just by watching me? Just go to Explore Optimum on IOTV's main menu or visit Optimum.net. Learn how to program your IO remote, use the latest security tools from Optimum Online, or discover Optimum Wi-Fi, and even get the most out of your calling features from Optimum Voice. So come learn all there is to know and explore Optimum. I'll see you there.
It's time to feel the final 400 miles of the regular season and the last chance to make the chase.
Go, you're clear.
Feel the pressure of being on the bubble and the panic of being knocked out. With 8 spots still up for grabs, it's time to feel just how volatile the standings really are. The battle for the chase concludes with the Chevy Rock and Roll 400 at Richmond tomorrow at 7 Eastern on ABC.
The Craftsman cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Rated teen.
Getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Let's show you what happened to the 38 of Jason Leffler as he's still putting on a spark show. And watch what on the left front.
Yeah, they're trying to get all this damage fixed, get a tire on the right front, and the guys on the left side had taken lug nuts off. And you see here he loses that left front tire as he drives away, has to back up, but he's still got problems. He's rubbed the sway bar arm or something here off, and now he doesn't have it, and it's throwing sparks still.
And Scott Wimmer gets the Aaron's lucky dog. There he is. So he is back on the lead lap. That gives us 18 cars as we are getting ready to go back to green flag racing. Pace car is off. It will be Kyle Busch picking the inside again. Brad Keselowski, Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick. That's your top 5. Whoa, take a look at Hamlin. He took a peek.
He's wanting to go. And they made some adjustments on this car or something, and
yeah,
he is flying.
He had passed quite a few cars after he lost those spots on pit road. He's not done. He's going for the lead right here.
There comes Harvick right behind that group, trying to take that 4th spot away from Carl Edwards.
Hamlin Still trying to get the low line to work for him, but Kyle able to make that middle groove sort of work even better. Here we go side by side down the backstretch out of 2. Who's going to blink first in this one?
I don't know. Denny Hamlin was sliding that thing off a turn, too.
He's going for this lead, though.
While all this is going on, we'll just give you a note. The 38 of Jason Leffler is back in pit road again. Meanwhile, take a look at the 88 right behind in third place. Brad Keselowski saying, you guys go ahead and beat and bang on each other as Denny finally gets the pass done for the race lead. Here comes Carl Edwards in 4th.
What a job Carl Edwards has done tonight from the rear.
Yeah, from 43rd up to 4th. Now here comes Kyle right back on Denny. Says, you know what? You made it work. I'm going to try it.
Yeah, he did that quick, too. Kind of opened the door there a little bit. And he thought that Kyle was preferring that outside and was kind of protecting that. And here comes Kyle to the inside once again. Great racing.
The top 5 right there in your screen with young Trevor Bayne. And there's Kevin Harvick in 6. So really, you can put a blanket almost over the top 6 and definitely over the first 4. Things really getting interesting as here comes Bayne to get into that mix. Hamlin protects that low line now, coming around for another lap. Look out, got a little close to the wall.
Boy, Carl Edwards done a really masterful job coming from the back. No pit strategy involved in getting himself positioned up here with a chance to win the race now.
A little further back, you've got the 32 of David Rudiman and 16 of Greg Biffle. That is the battle for 7th on the racetrack right there. And then there's Scott Speed, Martin Truex right behind them. They've lost a little bit of contact with that lead group. Shannon, you got more on Rudiman?
Yeah, help off the centers. That's what he needs, David Rudiman. He's asked his crew for 4 tires, air pressure, and track bar on that last pit stop as the 16 gets right behind that 32 and gives him a little tap. This is a very special track for David Rudiman, though. This is where he made his nationwide start in a Joe Nemechek car. He said he was very stressed out, but right now he's feeling good. Vince.
The 16 of Greg Biffle, you see maybe a little contact there with the 1 as he's in the middle of the sandwich now, and they go too wide through the corner. Biffle saying he's chattering the front ends, and he just doesn't feel like it's been any improvement over the last run when they had the same type of problem. When they tried to fix it, they felt like it was plowing a little bit more. Andy, I don't know how they're going to fix that, but certainly not very competitive at this level.
They probably just have to make an adjustment if they get another chance here, Vince.
I'll tell you what, Biffle's been banging on just about everybody.
Yeah, great race. And Scott Speed jumped up there trying to make a pass. And here comes Steve Wallace trying to pass him.
And now Darnell's going to pass Wallace.
And Justin Allgaier just wondering where he could go.
Darnell's got the high side as you look on board from Justin Allgaier, and he's cleared him. So Darnell moves into 11th. Here comes Allgaier on Wallace.
Wallace trying to go back underneath Eric Darnell. Got a nice run off of turn 4. See if he can make this pass. Darnell's not giving him much room there.
I'll let you know while you're watching all this, you're not missing anything up front. Hamlin leads Kyle Busch by half a second. It's another half a second back to 3rd. So that's why we're focusing on this, because this is one of the best battles we got going on the racetrack, and it is still going on. Look at Allgaier, hacksaw on the wheel.
Yeah, that's Clint Boyer we're riding along with there.
Here goes Trevor Bayne taking a look on Kevin Harvick.
I believe it's Harvick actually taking a look on Trevor Bayne. He might get this spot right here.
Yep, there he is. Yep, you're right. There he goes. Now he pulls around, and he takes over 5th position, while Steve Wallace gives the chrome horn to Eric Darnell. Just a little gentle nudge there. Wallace taking a look on the low side.
It's just hard to make that pass, get it completed. You can see he gets into the left rear in just a little bit, but you just can't stay in the throttle as a driver. You just lose the front end there, then the back end wants to come around, so it's really hard to make these passes.
Everybody sort of calmed down for the moment now in this battle. They're in straight line with Darnell and then the 66, and now you check on Greg Biffle. We're seeing some smoke potentially.
Yeah, that contact we saw earlier is taking its toll on this left front fender. See A lot of smoke, or not a lot, but a definite tire rub on that left front.
Yeah, won't take long to run that out, will it, Andy?
Got to be careful.
Well, Greg Biffle has run here 14 times. He has 2 seconds, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. He's never won, though, in the Nationwide Series at Richmond. He's still got a lot of work to do.
ESPN360.com, your online home for live coverage of college football all season long.
There are those who dedicate themselves to a sense of honor, to a life of courage, and a commitment to something greater than themselves. They have always defended this nation and each other. They still do. The few, the proud, the Marines.
We were just getting ready to go fishing, and 5 Hour Energy's in that little stand by the cash register. I bought about 4 or 5 of them. Me and all my buddies took them. The next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning. We're out in the lake, and we're fishing. You know, we're still fishing, and we're still catching fish, and it kept us wide awake. You're reacting a lot faster. Your eyes are wide open. You're paying a lot more attention to what's going on, and I just think it really helps out when I'm racing my car.
Todd, the thing I like about 5 Hour Energy, no crashes.
Steve, I'll tell you one thing. This family doesn't like crashes.
5 Hour Energy, I use it. I love it. That was good.
Soccer in the world is now on ESPN. Saturdays, Barclays Premier League. Sundays, Spanish Primera Division. This Saturday, Liverpool takes on Burnley. 9:55 a.m. on ESPN2. The NASCAR.com Superstore. Real gear, real fast.
It's the Virginia 529 College Savings 250 for the NASCAR Nationwide Series tonight from Virginia's capital city, Richmond, and the Richmond International Raceway. 90 laps to go, now 89, as Denny Hamlin, the race leader in that Joe Gibbs Racing 20 car, crosses the start-finish line. He has opened up about a 2nd and 1/10 of an advantage on Kyle Busch, and a new runner in 3rd place. Carl Edwards still rumbling forward.
Oh, man, he's come from the back of the pack all the way up to the front. His lap times look fantastic. And talk about a bad foot. He's got a good right foot right now, guys. I mean, that thing is hammered down on the gas pedal. No problem, no pain.
Up 40 spots. Carl Edwards is having an outstanding run.
All right, let's take a look at our Verizon Wireless race rundown and catch you up on what has happened so far in the night. It was an all Joe Gibbs Racing front row at the start of this one. Denny Hamlin and Kyle Busch at the start. Hamlin went out in front for 42 laps. Then it was a bad pit stop that kicked him back. Brad Keselowski led for a while, and then Kyle Busch led for a while Carl charged.
Oh, Carl's been charging the whole time. It hasn't had any problems whatsoever. We talked about that foot. Like I just said, he's not having a problem with it. He's got a good handling car right now. Look, he just flat messed up qualifying, got himself in the back of the pack, but he's okay now.
Been able to keep that car rolling. We've seen him not using a lot of brake.
Denny Hamlin's team twice on pit road. Twice they've had problems in the same spot.
They've made mistakes twice on pit road, but luckily they got a great wheel man in there tonight. He is atop the leaderboard through great driving. Once they clean up that pit issue, these cats could check out.
After the most recent restart, Hamlin putting the challenge on his teammate Kyle Busch, the leader at the time, and Denny out in front, while Carl Edwards continues to charge, just taking 2nd spot from Kyle Busch.
And I'll tell you what, that 60 car is hooked up on the bottom of the racetrack. And look at Kevin Harvick. He's got his car rallied back up to, looks like he's getting ready to overtake Busch for 3rd position. And another great run for that Kevin Harvick Chevrolet.
And by the way, just by way of recapping for Carl Edwards, if you missed it, they had a spark plug problem. In his qualifying lap, they changed the spark plugs out between qualifying and the race. NASCAR has impound rules, so they went to the back for the start of the race for violating the impound rule, and he's made his way all the way up to the number 2 position now with 84 laps to go. Now, going to see another round of pit stops here. I think if we see a caution flag, we'll see the leaders on pit road this next yellow, don't you think?
Yeah, I think they're going to come down pit road, put 4 tires on these cars, make their last adjustments, and honestly, that's probably going to be their last pit stop. They'll probably stay out, but I'll tell you, I've seen these guys come down from 4 tires way late of late trying to get that grip.
I think track position is going to be the ultimate factor as we get to the end of this race. I don't think you want to give up much track position. You come down, get 2 tires, maintain good position, try to stay out front.
Well, we'll see if strategies come into play or not. Right now, though, Carl Edwards still charging, trying to run down the 1 3/10 second gap he has to Denny Hamlin now with 82 laps to go. Seeing if he can gain a little bit of ground in the Nationwide Series Championship. The hometown boy, though, Denny Hamlin, is out in front.
You?
Kyle!
What's up, Mom?
You went on a 29,000-mile joyride in my brand new BMW?
Mom, it's pre-owned.
But your father said it was new.
Yeah, new as in you didn't have it before.
Looks like new, performs like new. And with a warranty for up to 6 years or 100,000 miles, it's hard to believe it's pre-owned.
Wait till your father hears about this.
He knows all about it.
Take advantage of 0.9% financing now until September 30th.
When we remodel, we should make this whole wall windows.
So we can watch the seasons instead of reruns.
I could have a door out to my deck.
You mean my terrace.
You say potato.
I say terrace.
Marvin Windows and Doors fit your vision. Visit your Marvin retailer to get started. At Gilco Window Corporation, we pride ourselves on customer service. The experienced sales team at Gilco will guide you in selecting the right products for your project. Visit Gilco Window Corporation at 135 Mahopac Avenue in Granite Springs, New York today.
Let's talk about clutch moments in sports. We're talking Hail Marys, buzzer beaters, or how about the last lap of last year's NASCAR chase race at Kansas Speedway? Or 06 when Tony Stewart rolls the dice on fuel? Or 04 when the margin of victory was 0.08 seconds. Not 0.8 seconds, 0.08. See, this is the place where clutch isn't just a pedal in a race car, it's a way of life. 2009-2010 ticket packages are now on sale. Call 866-460-RACE or go to kansasspeedway.com.
On September 25th.
Somebody's up there.
Experience.
What did you see?
They didn't seem human. Pure, primal terror.
Help me! Just run!
Pandora rated R starts September 25th.
With Quickcrete fast-setting concrete, you just pour it in the hole and add water. It sets hard in minutes. After all, what do you think we call it Quickcrete?
Tomorrow night, it's the Chevy Rock and Roll 400. Last shot for the Cup guys to make the chase. It'll be under the lights. Of course, the championship leader, Tony Stewart, has 3 wins at Richmond. Who gets in? Who goes out? It's the Sprint Cup Series, the Chevy Rock and Roll 400, presented by Pennzoil. It's on ABC tomorrow. In fact, all the races from here on out on ABC. It's NASCAR Countdown, presented by Degree V12 at 7 Eastern on ESPN. Denny Hamlin, your race leader. He has led now a total of 75 laps. He's led more laps today than he has in his 8 previous Richmond starts combined. But the final pit stop could be very crucial. Dave Burns, you've got more.
And he knows that, and he said, guys, let's make the last stop the best one. Denny's been very mature today in practice, according to crew chief Dave Rogers, and he made sure he was earlier, too. Todd Foster is on the right there. Here's the front tire changer. They've dropped lug nuts on both of their first 2 pit stops. I talked to Todd. Todd said there was something in my technique. I've got to make sure I don't do it again. He's been practicing on the practice hub, and as Denny said, to try to take a little bit of the pressure off Todd, let's just make the last one our best one. That's all they need, Marty.
And right now, Denny's got his hands full with Carl Edwards, who started at 43rd. He's now up to 2nd. You want an interesting statistic? Sometimes stats don't mean much. Take a look at the top 4. Denny Hamlin, Carl Edwards, Kevin Harvick, Kyle Busch. 8 of the last 9 races here at Richmond in this series have been won by those 4 guys.
So you say it's no accident that those 4 are running up front?
I don't think so. No accident whatsoever. And Carl has been the guy that's, I mean, here's another thing we always talk about. You know, every now and then people say we focus so much on Carl and Kyle. Well, here's the reason. Between Joe Gibbs Racing and Roush Fenway Racing, those 2 teams have led 70% of the laps of the entire series.
You run like that, you're going to get a lot of attention, aren't you?
That's right. And right now, look at it. It's Gibbs and now RFR running 1st and 2nd once again.
And Carl Edwards has really closed down this gap for the lead for Denny Hamlin, so don't expect it to be much longer before Carl will have it.
I think Carl's car has been so good on these long runs. That's when he's made a lot of the passes, even though he worked his way up here on the tires good, but it seems like his car is just not falling off like a lot of the others. Good setup under that car. They had that spark plug problem in qualifying that put them back there, and then they had to change those plugs, so that's why he started dead last.
That was Travis Kittleson in the 31. He is now 4 laps down. Whoa, getting a little dicey between Justin Allgaier in the 12 and Eric Darnell.
Race for 11th spot.
Here we go. Carl Edwards with the less than 75 laps to go. Takes a peek underneath of Denny Hamlin. Thinks better of it at this moment. And another lap goes by with Hamlin in the lead.
You've heard him talk about his car being loose, and I think that's benefiting him whenever he can run by himself. It makes it a little more difficult when you're trying to make a pass, though.
Let's get an update on Greg Biffle. Remember, he had the problem with the fender and the tire rub. There you can see him. He's getting passed right now by Mike Bliss, and that is putting him back to 17th. And he's going to need some help on his next and final pit stop. Let's go to the Craftsman Tech Garage. Tim Brewer.
Thanks, Marty. When the tire changer comes around the car, he's got to evaluate. Can he use the Roush roller and actually roll the fender off the tire? But if it's real severe, you're going to get you a good Craftsman hammer and just simply hit the fender, knock it back out, because you have to get that fender off the sidewall of the tire, because sooner or later, it's going to blow the thing out. Vince?
Well, right now, the rub doesn't seem to be the biggest problem that they're having, Tim. As Biffle just came on the radio a few moments ago and said halfway through the run, the car just quits turning. And it seems to be the same problem that they're having each stint. So that's certainly a multiple issues for Greg Biffle tonight as he tries to push this thing towards the front. Marty?
He is 17th right now. There's only 18 cars on the lead lap. He has fallen 17 seconds behind the race leader, Denny Hamlin. So if it keeps going at this pace, he's going to be a lap down. In fact, just look a little bit further back and you'll see him coming.
Yeah, the good thing is that Denny Hamlin has about 8 cars in between he and Greg Biffle, so it'll take him a little bit of time to get there.
So 186 laps are down, and boy, Denny's got traffic. Stay with us.
All right, so with friends and family, I can add my agent, my friends back at home, the Penske shop, even Rusty's home number.
We talk a lot.
And talk without using my minutes.
That's included at no extra cost.
Plus,
the over 80 million people already on Verizon Wireless. A lot of fans.
Race fans know a good deal when they see one. Unlimited calling to any 5 out-of-network numbers, plus America's largest mobile-to-mobile calling family. And check out our racing family at HorizonChampionshipRacing.com.
Want a driver's autograph? Leave it to the driver's seat.
It only wanted an autograph. I believe it got one.
Dude, you gotta be kidding. Sorry. Hey, it's the last door on the left, huh? Don't forget to wash your hands this time.
Think you know? Text CGD to 43776. ESPN College Game Day, built by the Home Depot. Saturdays at 10 a.m.
190 laps are now complete of the 250. Here come your race leaders. Denny Hamlin trying to slice his way through the traffic. He's gotten around the 62 of Brendan Gaughan, but there right behind him in the 62nd place, Carl Edwards, and Kevin Harvick has now drawn back into this battle as well. Scott Wimmer has just been put a lap down. That means we have 17 cars now on the lead lap. Let's get an update on Carl Edwards from Jamie Little.
Well, Marty, it seems like another day ago, but it was actually this morning in practice. The Fords were not stellar. The fastest Ford actually was Carl Edwards in 10th overall. Well, this team did some work, and they set up for a tight racetrack tonight. He has been loose, as Andy Petrie mentioned, but all they've made as adjustments is air pressure. They have been spot on, and right now running the same lap times as the leader, Shannon.
Well, Kevin Harvick was loving that battle between the 60 and the 18, because while that was going on, he was turning fast
running fourth, and there is certainly one team out here that is dying for a pit stop. They would love to see a yellow right now, and here's why. Listen to the radio.
The brake chatter is making it not turn stabilized. It got better when I turned the fans off, and now it got worse again. So I don't know. They're junk.
Yeah, I don't think our changes are good, man. I'm going to go back. I'm going to go back on the air, and then we'll think about going halfway back on the track bar or all the way back. But I'm not impressed with this change right here.
Well, if he's not impressed, what's the driver think? I know one thing I'm thinking. Kevin Harvick is looking like he did last week in Atlanta all of a sudden.
Yeah, I'm impressed with this 33.
He has gotten around Carl Edwards, moved into second. The top three, there they are. And boy, Denny Hamlin, he doesn't want to hear this one. Hamlin has led the first 40 laps of a race 4 previous times. He led the first 42 here. He has never won any one of those races. And guess who won 3 of them? Carl Edwards.
And he's right there.
Right there. Look out. Does history repeat itself?
Yeah, Denny sitting in there doesn't know that. So,
wow, that's true.
Just because Jimmy here is the only reason we got that stat. And Denny's not worried about that. He's worried about Kevin Harvick in his mirror.
That's for sure.
He's wondering where he came from.
Let's go back, take you a look one more time, and you can see exactly what happened.
See, Carl Edwards, he's all over Denny Hamlin right here. Gets into the back. And look here. Look to the outside, Carl. Oops, there's Kevin Harvick.
Clear behind.
So here is the battle now for the race lead. Kevin Harvick looking underneath the 20 of Denny Hamlin. Hamlin has led 97 laps. Harvick has yet to lead, but he's knocking on the door. Here he goes, but he's got lap traffic in front of him.
Yeah, he's going to need to make that happen before they run up on this 15 car, Michael Annette.
Oh, by the way, the other race, the 3 that Carl won, and guess who won the 4th one?
Kevin Harvick.
You got it.
Yeah.
And here comes Harvick one more time. Sometimes stats are interesting. This is one of them right here.
Okay. Carl's sitting back there saying, okay, I'll give you a shot at him, see if you can get him now.
Yeah.
And if you can't, then I'm going to take my shot again.
But you better not leave this door open on the outside, or I'm going to do the same thing.
Michael Annette's got his mirrors full, and boy, look at this going underneath. Annette gives him plenty of room. Harvick says, I'm going to still try and stick it underneath there. There's Kenny Wallace. He's getting out of the way, saying, fellas, it's all yours. Here comes Harvick down on the low side, through the corner, but boy, Hamlin's trying to hold on, but he's not going to be able to do it.
No, here
he comes back on the outside.
He had him clear for a second, and now here comes Hamlin back again. And boy, Harvick's brakes are glowing again.
Look at these guys going at it.
Going to try it one more time. Harvick says, I'm going to keep this low line.
See Hamlin really be able to carry the speed into the corner. Kevin Harvick goes the shorter way around. But he just can't get enough momentum off the corner to be able to slide up in front of Denny Hamlin yet.
On board with Harvick. That's how close it looks from the side-by-side view. And Carl Edwards is sitting back in 3rd place saying, you guys go ahead and lean on each other all you want, and I'll let you wear each other out.
Carl Edwards actually losing a little ground to these leaders.
And I'm starting to wonder if he possibly is thinking we're right on that edge of fuel, so is he saving a little bit of fuel as these guys race hard?
Yeah, it was 123 laps to go the last time they made a pit stop. And
whoa, he's around. Oh, they got contact. Here goes Carl. What a sound.
Okay, there's damage on that 20 car.
How about that?
What a save by both of them, but boy, that is a big tire rub.
Yeah, he's got damage here. He's got to get to the pits. Now, we need to see Harvick's car because he got some damage also. I don't know if it's in a critical spot like you see right there. Actually, Harvick's car doesn't look too bad. See a little bit on that right front right there, a little bit on the right rear.
But no smoke.
Don't see any smoke yet.
Man, that could have been big.
Man, I'm telling you, that 20 was going around if it wasn't for Harvick.
Yeah.
Here comes Denny into pit road, and let's take another look.
And he just gets loose all the way up on the straightaway.
Yeah, he was spun out right there till Harvick.
Harvick knocked him straight.
Yeah.
Watch the reactions of the team.
Oh, no.
Delaney's going, hang on. Well, Denny Hamlin is in the pits, and it looks like his chances of winning it may have just gone down.
Remember when I got my nationwide insurance policy?
Sure do. You were only 16.
The Earnhardt family has had nationwide insurance for more than 30 years because they give me an on-your-side review. That gets me the coverage that I need at the right price for me. Now that's on your side. Call 1-866-500-5555.
Or your local agent.
And get a quote today.
The Craftsman cordless C3 line. 25 tools, 1 battery. Bring on the to-do list. Innovation, better value. Craftsman, trust in your hands.
Struggling with credit card debt? Are you worried about making your monthly payments? Stop the harassing calls. Legally reduce your debt. Feel the freedom of debt-free living. Call the Financial Future Network now and secure your family's future today.
The Ultimate Makeover Sweepstakes returns. Let NASCAR tune up your vehicle with the best parts in the business. Enter the Ultimate NASCAR Performance Makeover Sweepstakes for a chance to win a complete makeover of your vehicle and a VIP trip for 2 to the season finale race at Homestead Miami Speedway. Go online and enter the Ultimate NASCAR Performance Makeover Sweepstakes. Visit NASCAR.com/makeover. And remember, be car care aware.
Got a little Trevor Bain, man.
Yeah.
He's not moved.
At the Richmond International Raceway, 40 laps to go. Kevin Harvick out in front. Carl Edwards still stalking him for the race lead. Harvick 33, Edwards 60. After a dramatic moment where Harvick somehow saved his race car from being wrecked while Denny Hamlin was trying to hang on his outside. And Hamlin taking severe damage that has left him now in 18th place, 1 lap down.
Oh, man, this is the second week in a row now. We're seeing great runs out of Kevin Harvick, and they can't say enough about Carl Edwards with that foot and starting dead last to get all the way up to the front right there now.
Our Holiday Inn Express race summary now. 4 different leaders in this race. Denny Hamlin's led the most. Brad Keselowski out in front for a bunch. Kyle Busch as well. Now Kevin Harvick is out in front. 4 cautions for 20 laps. That's not a whole lot where a Richmond Nationwide Series race is concerned. And I don't think we're done with the yellow flag yet.
No, I just can't believe we're at a short track. We're at Richmond. There's 38 laps to go, and I just got to believe there's going to be another caution flag. It always happens at this track, Brad. I might be wrong. I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see if Denny Hamlin, who's consistently been one of the fastest cars all night long, can get back to the front of this pack before this is over with.
While we watch a pretty good race for 6th and 7th between Scott Speed and Trevor Bain. Marty, DJ, and Andy. I always talk about these races are never over till they're done. There's been a caution in the last 20 laps in 12 of the last 14 Richmond races. We'll see if it happens tonight.
And it probably will, Alan. And yes, you're right. Maybe Denny Hamlin can get back on the lead lap, but he's going to have a lot of work to do. He has got a full length load of fuel, so everybody else still has to stop. So that's one thing in his favor. As you can see, there's Scott Speed and Trevor Bain still banging on each other. That is a battle for 6th on the racetrack.
These guys are doing a nice job tonight. Alan, I'm going to tell you one thing. You're going to have to come up with the lap if you're going to top Ray Evernham last weekend. Ray called it. Well, I don't have Ray's big packet of engineering research, but I just know we'll see a late caution. How's that? Okay, all right, good enough. There you go.
Number 1, Martin Truex trying to get into that mix for that battle. The 62 of Brendan Gaughan, he is 2 laps down in 21st. Up front, there is your battle for the race lead. Kevin Harvick in front of Carl Edwards. Shannon?
Well, what a save Kevin Harvick just made. And right now, he's in another save kind of mode, and that's fuel. They're telling Kevin Harvick that he is 5 laps short on fuel, and he has gone into conservation mode, guys.
And Carl Edwards right behind him. 2nd is the best he's been running tonight. Hey, broken foot, not a problem. Starting 43rd, not a problem either. And fuel, they are good to go to the end.
Well, if Kyle Busch is going to win for a 7th time this season, he's likely going to need a caution because his car just isn't good enough to get there unless something drastic happens in front of him. They're about 5 laps short on fuel, so he's now in the fuel conservation mode. But really, to get this car working to be a winner, they need to come in and make a couple of changes to the race car. We'll see if they get it. Marty?
Well, the top 3 have combined for 84 Nationwide Series wins between Harvick, Edwards, and Kyle Busch. Kyle is 5.2 seconds behind, so you're right. That's why he wants that caution, so he can get that last stop. This is going to be interesting. you know, Edwards camp is saying that they're going to make it. Now, there is Denny Hamlin back out on track. Now, he is in 17th. Greg Biffle is also a lap down in 16th. So if he wants to get a lucky dog, he's got to get around the 16th.
Well, the problem is by the time he gets around the 16, Kevin Harvick will have somebody else down a lap. So he'll be chasing that lucky dog as we go here. But we're hearing that most of the cars are, you know, around 5 laps short. I was kind of surprised to hear Carl Edwards say they were good to go. I guess they're counting on Carl to save him a few laps, but it's going to be interesting as it gets down to the end of the race. We'll see if Kevin Harvick can make it on his tank of fuel.
Yeah, we saw Dale Jr. try that strategy last week in doing that, but we've seen over the last couple of years Carl Edwards be one of the best at saving fuel while still running pretty good lap times. So it will be interesting to see as we get down here. We didn't really think anybody could make it that far, but
well, there's Brad Keselowski, and right now he is running in 5th, 8.7 seconds behind. Dave, what's the latest from his camp?
Well, Marty, he's a little disappointed in the handling of the car, loses its turnability over the run. But on the plus side, they could go to the end on fuel, according to the team. So we'll see what happens up front.
The reason he's back in 5th is because David Rudiman's passed him and gone into that 4th spot in the 32 car.
Hamlin goes around him. Remember, Hamlin has fresh tires, full load of fuel after the spin, or almost full spin, that put him in this position of being a lap down. There's the gap between 1st and 2nd. Harvick by 0.2 of a second over Carl Edwards.
With all this modern technology stuff, it's always your network this, your network that. But you know what? It's true. The fiber optic Optimum network is why Optimum Online is up to 5 times faster than phone company high-speed internet. The Optimum network is why IOTV has such stunning picture quality, and why Optimum Voice delivers such unbeatable reliability. If you want the best quality services for your money, it really is all about your network. The Optimum network.
Okay, Pixels. IOTV brings people every HD game of the Knicks, Rangers, Nets,
Islanders, Devils, Mets,
Yankees, Giants, and Jets. So, can we all agree not to play favorites?
I suppose.
I guess so. Great. Let's shake on it.
Yes!
No one delivers more New York sports in HD. IOTV brings you an extraordinary HD experience free.
Monday, Tio's in Buffalo, and Brady's back as the Bills battle the Pats. Then the Chargers take on the Raiders. ESPN Monday Night Football, a special doubleheader starting at 7.
This is a special announcement. The public is entitled to purchase cars and homes seized by police and bank agents. An inventory of cars and homes are available now and will be sold to the public. Call 800-620-6812. Cars available from $500. Homes available from $199 a month. Down payment assistance available for those who qualify. For listings in your area, call 800-620-6812. That's 800-620-6812. Call 800-620-6812.
Pit lane opened early. Leader Kevin Harvick came in. So did Carl Edwards. Edwards is down at 14.8. It was a debris caution, our 5th here tonight. Harvick again a full second slower. Who's going to win the race off pit road? Kyle Busch at the bottom of your screen. Remember, he was 5 seconds behind when the yellow came out. He gets out at 15.2. And it looks like it's going to be Carl Edwards winning the race off pit road. Both cars took 4 tires.
How many times have we seen that be a pass for the win on pit road late in these races? That could be very crucial for Carl Edwards. He'll be able to control the restart.
So the debris was in turn 1, we're being told by NASCAR officials, and also on the backstretch. So that was what brought out the 5th caution of the day. And as Carl Edwards, and there's Greg Biffle. Now, he is going to get some help because he is going to be the guy who gets the Aaron's lucky dog, so that'll put him back on the lead lap.
They can get in here now and work on that left front fender.
They are going to take 4 tires, and you can see him yanking on that fender. All right, that gives us a chance to check in with our in-race reporter, Kevin Harvick.
Hey, Kevin, DJ, you got me? You have the car to beat Carl Edwards here in this about 20-lap shootout?
Hope so. We'll see which lane he chooses. Our Jimmy Jones Chevrolet's been really good. Proud of my guys on pit road. After the first pit stop, I was a little nervous, but they made 3 good ones, and now we got a shot, and that's all you can ask for.
Hey, Kevin, does the track change much throughout the night here?
Not really. Car's been really consistent, and we've had to adjust for tight in the center, but that's pretty normal here, so we'll see how our Jimmy Jones Chevrolet fares here in the end. It's been a lot of fun so far.
All right, man, good luck on getting that next victory.
One thing we want to point out, as you can see, there's the race leader, Carl Edwards. Remember, he started dead last, 43rd, after going to the rear of the field with a spark plug issue in qualifying. But right now, Denny Hamlin stayed out, as we expected. He'll get the wave around, as will several other cars. But what makes it important is Hamlin's back on the tail end of that lead lap. Let's go back and show you the race off pit road again between the top 2 cars.
Hey, Carl Edwards made a pit stop on the other end of pit road, and this is the net result right here. You can see just about a car length. Here comes Ruderman.
Brad Keselowski, you saw a little bit slower there. He comes back out in 5th. So it's Edwards, Harvick, Ruderman in 3rd. Kyle Busch, that's the highest Ruderman's been all night.
We've had a lot of good efforts, and so if you're off just a little bit, it doesn't take much to find yourself racing outside of the top 10 in this nationwide series.
Well, Boyer's got him cleared, so that battle has settled down. And it is now an 0.8 of a second lead for Carl Edwards up front, and we're going to have 5 laps to go next time by. And there is Carl. He's gotten around the 09 of Travis Quapple.
5 laps left, 5.
It's an amazing job for Carl Edwards starting in the back tonight.
And here comes Biffle. He's underneath Menard. So this is for position as well. That moves Biffle into 12th. Eric Darnell's going to take a look at the 98 as well. He's trying to sneak a nose underneath. Look out. Could be a little contact. No, they stay clean. But now Darnell has the position. All he has to do is seal the deal. He's got the low line.
Yeah, this is where it's hard not to overdrive your car, especially down on the inside as you get down into the corner. Real easy to get loose down into turn 3, get the left front off the track and slide up into the car on the outside.
Menard's been one of those cars that can run that middle to high groove all night long, and he holds on to the position. Darnell falls back in behind him. Trevor Bayne had a little contact with Martin Truex. That is for 6th. They're both trying to work their way into the top 5. Next time by, it'll be 2 laps remaining. And the lead is now up to a full second. There goes an Allgaier
coming up there trying to get in this battle.
There is the race leader, and right behind him is Kevin Harvick. Can you believe this? This will be the 3rd race this year that Carl has started dead last in the field, and he looks like he's going to take his 3rd win.
It might ought to be a plan of theirs from here on. Gets Carl fired up.
It will be the 5th time in his career that he has pulled this maneuver off. 3rd time this year. He's got over a second over 2nd place, Kevin Harvick. So everybody who said, I can't drive because my foot's broken, forget it. The big question is now, how's he do the backflip? Kevin Harvick in 2nd, Kyle Busch in 3rd, Brad Keselowski, and David Ruderman, your top 5. 24th series win for Carl Edwards, and boy, did he do it in style. Starting from the back, and look at that team celebrating.
Wonder if he has a backup signature move here.
Great job,
Can't do his backflip, so what's he going to do?
Maybe the crutches can do the flip. I don't know, but the fans, I think, are going to give him a free pass.
Okay, I got a question. You asked me before the race started. Now you tell me, should he have been running in this race tonight?
Great job. Great job in the pits. You guys.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be a burnout tonight. No, the point was very valid. I mean,
it was. Yeah,
as far as what's at stake tomorrow, you know, it's risk versus reward. Yeah, and the reward paid dividends tonight, and hopefully, you know, if you're a Carl Edwards fan, it pays dividends again tomorrow.
That's right, and what I said, one of the things that what makes Carl Edwards happy is driving a race car and trying to win races, so he's going to be in a better frame of mind tomorrow night by this happening for him.
Well, Carl picks up another 20 points on Kyle Busch. The margin is now down to 201. Let's check in with Shannon. She's caught up with Dan Stillman.
Carl Edwards now a 3-time winner here at Richmond in the Nationwide Series. Got to ask you, Dan, what are you going to remember most about this night?
Man, what a great night. You know, Carl's got a broken foot. What a job he did. You know, we had to start in the back, and we came up through there. The pit stops were awesome. I mean, that's really what propelled us. Every time we stopped, we gained, and the car was really good. And like I said, I mean, Carl's got a broken foot. I mean, what do you say? It's awesome.
So you going to do the backflip for Carl since he can't do it?
We're going to have to get somebody to do it. It's not going to be me, but I think we'll find somebody.
All right, maybe one of the guys in the booth will be able to do it. Congratulations to the 60 team tonight.
Okay, Marty, you do it.
Yeah.
We let you.
Yeah, I'm doing backflips. Y'all throw me out.